Hello. What is going on? What's up, Megan? Good morning. Good morning, class. How we doing, guys? How we doing? Happy whatever day. What's today? Thursday? Oh shit, I'm taking my meds. It's not a 2-moment cop, you idiot. Good morning, Chad. We're on a little bit early today. My allergies are wrecking my face. Come with me while I make coffee. Come with me while I make some coffee. Good morning. Good morning, DeMarcus. Hello, guys. Guys, let's get some taps on the screen. I'm going to take my meds. Look at this handful of fucking meds I got. Oh! Look at this. Look at this. Hold on. There it is. Look at all those. Look at all those. Breakfast. Allergies wrecking me too. Yeah. Yeah, it's killing me. How's my golf game? Real bad. Real bad. W. Owala, F. Stanley. Yeah, dude. Most leftists probably eat pills for breakfast. Those were supplements. Those were supplements. We have lion's mane, ashwagandha, fish oil. I think I have L-theanine. I have a daily once a day mins, magnesium, vitamin C, vitamin D3. And then maybe some Effexor. Maybe some Effexor. How's it going, guys? Chat, if you're a Trump supporter and you want to debate, hop in the box. Come tell me why you like Trump. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, TikTok. We are on a little bit early. Trump is your friend. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Let's read the news today. Let's read the news today. Let's see how much of a dumb fuck Trump is today. What kind of dumb shit is Trump doing today? What's up, bud? Hostilities with Beijing may threaten the economy. I heard in a congressional hearing earlier this morning that they're tariffing things in China that we don't get from anyone else. A lot of accusations of market manipulation, of course. Dude, it's so crazy. It's so crazy. Oh, wait till you see what Fox breaking news about Doge found with unemployment. This is so crazy. The initial survey of unemployment claims since 2020 found that thousands of people with future birth dates claimed benefits. Okay. All right. 24,500 people over 115 years old claim $59 million in benefits. 28,000 between 1 and 5. Let's just do this. When was this written? 6 a.m.? See if we can get a fact check. The Ron Vara stuff, I'm begging you, is that the co-author of the Peter Navarro's book? He is actually Navarro. Yeah. But that's not a problem, right? Yeah. Like literally, I'm sure in 4 hours, AP News will announce how Doge just can't do their job and that their findings were just something to give you a reaction. And it turns out it's just done in coding like they found out last time.
Hello?
Hello?
What's up, man? How can I help you?
Are you over 18, bud?
Yep. Oh, not over exactly. I mean, not over.
Okay, what do you like about Trump?
I'm not a fan of America, so I like what he's doing. What?
You want to see America burn down?
Yeah, I think we're destroying a lot of countries where, because I'm a socialist, right? So I want, because America is prohibiting countries that are socialists from flourishing, right? Like Cuba, they have a lung cancer vaccine. They won't let us have that. So I think we should just, countries should just fall. It's way too big, way too exploitative, manipulates other
So
countries.
lung
What?
cancer vaccine would probably save far fewer lives than the amount of lives lost if we burned America to the ground, don't you think?
We don't have to exactly burn it down. Like we don't have to unallow the citizens. We just have to, the people have to migrate to other countries. So. So you will
Yeah.
probably migrate to other country. It's not America. Maybe Canada,
I
maybe
don't know.
Australia.
I think there would be starvation and famine and poverty.
Not necessarily, man. Not necessarily, but
I don't know.
America's not helping the world at least. So it's best that it doesn't stay there. You agree with that sentiment, right? You agree that we're not doing anything good.
We are doing plenty. Did you know that also like some of the funding that Trump cut, scientists claim to be on the verge of finding a cure for cancer?
Which one? You don't know? Did this guy just fucking leave?
Hey, don't you give me fucking lip. Don't you give me lip.
No, I'm sorry. You just left in the middle of the conversation. I
I
thought that
got
was
coffee
kind of
to
weird.
pour, dude. This coffee's not
You
gonna
got
pour.
what?
This coffee's not gonna pour itself, bro.
Yeah, all right, that's fine. But
Look,
you were saying something? You were
look.
talking about something
Hey,
else.
pay attention. Look what I'm doing. Look at this. It's beautiful. See
Hey,
that?
can you stop trolling 1 second, bro? Can you stop trolling? Just talk to me,
Dude,
bro.
you're the one trolling, talking about fucking America needs to. Come on, dude.
You think I'm actually like not serious? Like, I'm very serious about
I
that.
know, dude. But you're also 18 years old.
Do you have any questions for me, or are you just gonna try to belittle me or something like that?
Yeah. What's your favorite Pokemon?
I don't look at anime. I think that's for nerds.
Well,
I like Invincible though. You seen that show?
yeah, dude. It's Badass.
Who's the main character then, if you know?
I know the dad's actor is in Whiplash. Forgot his name. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it in about a year. I forgot the main character's name, but the dad, it turns out to be a bad guy of the superhero.
All right. Why did you vote Kamala? How about you tell me that? Or Kamala, I mean.
One sec.
Bro, are you ready at all, or you just go live and in the morning immediately without preparing yourself? This fucking
Dude,
guy.
I'm real sick of your attitude.
I'm not dude, you're the one leaving in the middle of the conversation. That's imagine if I did that. So, like, what would happen then? I would be kicked, right? It's disrespectful, man.
Dude, it's because I can't carry my fucking microphone with me. You can walk around with your phone, can't you?
Sure, but dude, you should get this ready before you
As
go on
far as I
stage.
know, you're taking a poop right now.
I'm taking a poop right now.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, man, just be prepared before you go on live, right? So you can actually have a conversation.
What do I
You gotta be prepared, man. Like you don't
Daniel,
wake up in the
can
morning.
you describe what I look like?
Yeah, you got green glasses. You got some facial hair.
Do I look
Uh,
like a bitch?
what the fuck is this, bro? What are you doing
Then why
here?
are you talking to me like a bitch? Daniel?
I swear I've seen that exact moment or scene in some kind of movie before. Are you quoting a movie?
Then why are you talking to me like that?
Because, man, you're being a rude asshole. You're not. You're not being respectful. You just like walk away sipping your fucking latte immediately when I talk to you. Right.
Say that again. All right. Um dude, no.
Hey,
We don't need to burn it to the ground. Maybe the Republican Party needs to burn to the ground. Maybe we need a different conservative party. But I think
who's gonna save us, man? Bernie Sanders. Who's gonna save us? You think?
I love me some Bernie, bro. We need more Bernies, right?
You think Bernie's not gonna do anything bad when he gets in office?
No,
You don't think so,
no.
dude? Dude, no matter what president we have, we're still gonna do bad shit to other countries.
Oh my god, come on, dude.
What do you mean? Oh my god.
I mean, yeah, you might be right. Like, yeah, sure, we'll do something mildly distasteful if someone like Bernie was in office, I'm sure,
Oh,
out of necessity, but it still wouldn't be something like Trump taking a shit on all of our allies' economies just so that they come crawling to him and asking him like begging for mercy and he can get something out of him. He's just extorting all of our allies.
dude, having replacing Trump with Bernie is like essentially having a shit steak and just removing one shit part of the shit steak and just leaving half of it on there.
Daniel, you don't know shit about shit sticks. Don't even try.
I know. What I'm saying is that we're still gonna exploit Africa. We're still gonna exploit Congo. We're still gonna suppress countries. We're still gonna go to war in countries. We're still gonna do a lot of these things because we have to keep our GDP high. We have to help these companies.
Companies, countries.
Yeah, companies, our American companies.
Yeah, well, Trump is taking a shit on American companies too.
That's good. Why do you think I voted for him?
You voted for Trump, dude?
Why the fuck am I here, man?
Don't know.
Motherfucker, talk to me. I'm right here. Like, why do you think I'm here?
Come on, bro.
You think I'd come here if I voted for Kamala Harris?
Yeah, Kamala Harris is by far a
People
better
actually debate
candidate.
that, though.
She could actually like spell words that have more than 7 letters.
Yeah,
She
you
has
didn't
a
say
like a
that when Joe Biden
vocabulary
came
bigger
along.
than 40 words.
You didn't
Uh,
say that when Joe Biden came along, did you? Right? That's
Joe
really
Biden's got a
convenient for
better
you to say that.
vocabulary too, by far. By far.
He talks like he's got like something stuck in his throat all the time. You know, he doesn't. Maybe he's getting old, but it's really convenient now that he's not running for office. You're gonna try to make fun of Trump for his
Trump ran
lack
for
of
4 years campaigning and convincing the entire right side of our country that he has dementia, when literally Trump is less competent mentally in every way.
who's better at golf, Kamala Harris or Trump? Who's got better hand-eye
Fucking
coordination?
Trump literally, did you know there's a book out there called Commander in Cheat?
Sorry, I got a cold right when you said that. I'm very sorry. Could you say that one more time?
There's a book out there. It's called Commander in Cheat.
And it means
It's a book about Trump cheating at golf. What do you like if you had some friends?
oh my
If you had some friends, right? And one of those friends played golf with you and he cheated all the time, what would you think about that person? Do you think that that person, like, in his everyday life also did things that were like unethical?
I'd say requiring to cheat in sport actually takes some skill, right? Like cheating at basketball does take some skill,
Okay, but
right?
in golf, having a golf cart that goes 30 miles an hour at your own club while everybody else's only goes 20, and going and picking
Seven,
up your ball and moving it,
bro.
it's a little
That's not.
different. That doesn't take
That's
skill.
hold on. That's not cheating at golf. Come on now.
That's cheating at golf.
He's still hitting the
And
golf ball the same way.
coming in halfway into the day at your own golf tournament and giving yourself a -5 and being like, I won this tournament. I'm so good.
So you think if Trump and Kamala Harris did a 1v1, that's fair? You think
I'm not. I
Kamala
wouldn't
Harris
say.
would win?
I don't. I'd say Kamala doesn't give a flying fuck. If Kamala did a
You don't need
spelling bee,
that shit, bro.
if Kamala and Trump had a spelling bee, who do you think would win?
I think
If Kamala and Trump had to answer a quiz about like the rule of law, who do you think would win?
depends. Like, didn't Trump ran like a $1 billion industry or like $1 million industry
No,
at
he
one
just
point?
bought a.
He sold
He
companies.
he literally just inherited $400 million and then he flips property. Very unsuccessfully, might I add.
Well, the thing is, the only appeal that because Trump, he's a tall man, he's assertive, he does a few things, right? Kamala is just pretty. She's got nothing else to her. She's just pretty. That's it,
She's
right?
literally got her Juris Doctorate.
In what?
A Juris Doctorate means you're an attorney.
Oh yeah, she's a lawyer. That means she's a great politician, huh?
Yeah,
Does
she
that
knows
mean
the
she's
law.
a
If you were to do something like be president, you wouldn't be writing dumb as fuck executive orders like Trump, who wrote an executive order to go directly against one of the constitutions,
How good of a
one of the
lawyer
amendments
was
in the Constitution.
how good of a lawyer was Kamala Harris?
So
How
good
good
that
of a
she won the state of California billions of dollars from one of the biggest banks. Men quiver
look,
and hire lawyers for millions of dollars to go against
okay,
Kamala.
look at it this way. We got two presidents. One of them knows how to run like industries, companies, right? He's gonna handle the economy better than the lawyer will, right?
He's ran them into the ground. He's ripped off everybody he's done business with. Everybody's come out and said, hey, this guy's a piece of shit. He's slimy. He's ran casinos into the ground. Casinos. And now we know why. Now we know because he does things that are insane, like what he's doing this week with our economy. There's no plan in sight for it to get any better. He's just doing things that are insane at the behest of everybody that's around him that's smart, advising him not to. There's just one dude, Peter Navarro, who believes that this idea is good, and he's considered a fringe economist. He's considered some fucking weirdo.
Carhart, this is what really confuses me about this, right? Because you call Trump stupid, you call him all these things, right? But you gotta have some intellect to manage the business and run for president, right? So he's not that stupid like
He is very unbelievably, profoundly dumb. He is. Do you think magnets go poof underwater?
Sorry?
Do you think magnets go poof underwater?
No, because
Trump does. Do you think that there's airports in the Revolutionary War?
no, it's possible.
Trump does.
Well, dude, if he's that stupid, right? How do you know that all these things he's doing, it's not part of some kind of greater plan that he has planned along, right?
Because we've seen the way he does business. The only way he gets a leg up is by ripping people off constantly.
Yes,
That's all he
that's
does.
gonna be good for our economy against China, our enemies.
No,
China, Russia.
he's not good at actually doing well at business. He has to do things like not pay his employees or not pay his contractors to get away to make a profit. That's why.
What was Trump like during his first term? Because he did not do all these stupid things. So
He
I think he has
golfed. He golfed 167 times. That's what he was
he's
like.
got to have something up his
Did
sleeve.
he
'Cause
did
his
he
first
pass
term,
anything other than a fucking tax law that had to be passed?
hold up. Because he's got to have some kind of greater plan, right? Because he wasn't this stupid in his first term.
He
Right?
was. He couldn't pass anything. He can't. He still can't govern.
What do you mean he couldn't pass anything? Gas was very cheap
What
under
what law
Trump.
did he pass that made gas cheap? Tell me.
He I don't fucking know, bro. But he did something.
Yeah,
He did
nothing. He
something.
just
Well,
claims. He just takes credit for all the things that were kind of good that were happening, but he doesn't have anything to show like that
what did
he
he do
did.
wrong? How about you tell me that? What did he do wrong during his first term?
He passed a horrible tax cut that gave huge tax breaks to the ultra wealthy, and he spent $8.3 trillion. Before the pandemic, it was $4.4 trillion, which is just an insane amount of money. He spent, just like his bank told us he does. His niece said that his bank had to put him on an allowance of $500,000 a month because he just fucking hemorrhages money.
Why were the tax cuts to the rich bad? Why?
Because they don't help anybody and we're in huge debt.
They
Just like
help the
he's trying to
rich.
convince you guys he's going to fix, he's exploding the debt more and pretending to cut things with Doge to fix it.
Cutting tax cuts to the rich just makes people want to innovate more.
That's not true.
How is that not true? If you have the option to live in a country that has tax cuts for the rich and you want to be rich, which one would you rather live in?
I would want to live in the economy where the constituents have a ton of money. That's America. If you go to if you go to another country that has lower tax rates for the rich, they still don't have as high of a GDP as we do. If you leave this country with your business, you're leaving all of the customers too.
Well, you said countries that have tax cuts for the rich doesn't have as high as GDP as we have.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're the most capitalist country ever.
That's not true. We've talked before multiple times.
What's the most capitalist country ever? Dude, we've been talking about business and capitalism this whole time, right?
Yeah.
We're not socialists.
Yeah, I don't know how you measure how capitalist a country is.
Just how they allow people to, the rich to have more freedom, flexibility. That's it.
Okay, but I don't know. We've talked before, and you've claimed that places like
I don't know you, bro.
Singapore. Yeah, you do. We've talked multiple times. Shut up.
Have we?
Yes.
Or are you confusing with someone else?
No.
Dude, maybe we have, man. I don't know. Are you on panels a lot?
No.
Then I don't think we have. I mean, bro, why do we have the highest GDP? Why? Why is that?
Because we got a jump start with our economy, and we built it on the back of slaves.
Okay, and how have we managed to still have that? Our economy as well as it is right now.
With war.
With war? Give an example. Come on.
After World War II, we became a superpower, and it turns out every time we go to war, and we have to build planes and tanks, it spurs the economy.
Which other wars after World War II have helped our economy? Because the Afghanistan war didn't help our economy at all, did it?
Of course it did.
It helped our economy?
It didn't help our debt, but it definitely helped fuel the military-industrial complex. We had Vietnam. We had all sorts of stuff.
So you think the CIA or the government was the one causing that war in the first place? Help. Or did it spill off of countries that already are at war? Because there's always going to be war in some countries. And we don't create those wars, do we?
I don't know.
We
I
just
don't know.
benefit off of them.
Market crash today. What's up? Is that Jaden? What's up, bro?
So yeah, man, we got the best GDP, the best military, the best nukes. Why aren't you proud of your country? Why aren't you a little patriot?
That's some just conservative BS. What do you mean? Why am I not proud? Am I proud to have a president who's threatening to take over Greenland and the Panama Canal and has made all of our allies run away from us, who's took our presence off the world stage where we were trying to be the good guys, has emboldened Russia, has defunded a nation that was defending itself from a foreign adversary?
What's wrong with taking Greenland and buying in Canada? What's wrong with that?
It's imperialistic. It's horrible.
So what? Why is imperialism
Yeah,
bad?
that makes you an asshole. The so what
We can
makes you
just
an
buy
asshole.
it. We can just buy it. How am I an asshole because of that? It's great for our country.
Okay, and
Every other
is it good
country
for
can
them?
do it.
You know what?
How come?
There's a
How
lot of
come Russia
countries that
can
could
do it?
use our help, but it's definitely not fucking Greenland. They're doing just
How
fine.
come
If we took
this?
over Greenland right now, they would literally shave 4 years off of their life expectancy.
How come Russia could do it, but we can't? How come Russia's allowed to do that
Because
shit?
we're not horrible people like Putin.
Horrible people? What do you mean, Putin? Horrible? How are we not horrible people as well? We do a lot of bad things too, right? But we can't benefit off of those things like other countries can. It's bullshit.
You sound like a horrible person.
How?
Why
I'm
can't
just telling
we
you.
why can't
Dude,
we go do the horrible things Putin's doing? Are you serious?
well, if Ben, well, what is Putin doing now? You think is that horrible?
He's been in control of his country for 23 years.
Putin,
His economy is absolute shit. He's incredibly rich. Oligarchs run the entire economy. He
that's
has people
bullshit.
going around. What do you mean that's bullshit?
Putin was the one unaliving these billionaires controlling the Soviet Union and Russia. He was the one unaliving them. You can look it up. Look up Putin unaliving
He
billionaires.
could have unalived a few, sure,
He did it, man.
and then he forced them to give him half of their wealth.
Well, hold on, because these billionaires were exploiting people, right? So he wanted to help the country, right? So that's what he did.
Dude,
We should do the same thing for
spare me,
ourselves.
You're a horrible person, dude.
What do you want America to be like, bro? You want us to be like a bunch of sissies just hanging around in kibbutz, just chilling around, doing nothing? You want that us to do
I
that?
want us to
We're
have
the same
I want
country,
us to
bro.
be able to vote for our fucking leaders. I want us to be able to hold people accountable.
We voted for Trump. That's what happened. Just because it didn't go your way doesn't mean you have to pout and whine about it online. We voted
Dude, I'm
democracy.
not
We voted
pouting and
for
whining. I'm here to debate, and you're sitting here like supporting the ideas that Putin champions, and it's really sad. It's really
I'm
sad
saying,
day in America when the right wing party of our country is a Putin sympathizer. It's really sad.
well, when you look at what Putin did, he's actually trying to help his country, and I think
He's trying
he's
to help
doing.
his country. HIV is running rampant in his country, and he won't even
Is
report the
that
numbers
Putin's
anymore.
fault?
Yeah,
Did Putin create
yes,
HIV?
yes. If you don't do things like research and like subsidize things that will stop the spread of these viruses and look for a cure and fund the public and getting healthier, yeah, it's going to look more like Russia and less like United States. That's what Trump is doing. That's what he's done. He's defunded all of these things so we can look more like that. So we can go to the hospital every 2 weeks with fucking tuberculosis or measles and shit like that.
Countries that create these things, they're capitalist companies that do so, right? So he's giving tax cuts to the rich so they can invent more vaccines. Why are you opposed to that?
Say that again.
He's giving tax cuts to the rich because those are the ones making the vaccines. It's not the average citizen,
No,
right?
there's no profit right now in making those vaccines. There's no profit in cancer research and on all of this medical research that we need to do. It's very long-term, expensive research that we'll benefit from as a society, but no person will come out the other end of it rich.
Can you prove that? I want you to prove it. I think it's very profitable to make vaccines. I want you to prove that's not.
There's a
It's a
reason you
product.
can't sue people who make the vaccines because they literally barely turn a profit. Yes, we wrote a law that did that.
You can sue people who make vaccines, so that means you can't profit off of selling them.
The reason why you can't is because they don't have the money. Correct. Where do you keep going, bro? Are you playing Roblox? All right, get out of here, Daniel. You're a horrible person. Chad, if you're a Trump supporter, come hop in the box. Come tell me why you like Trump. You want to be Dean Winters so badly? Dean Withers is the only debater? He's only the only political debater? I get it because I'm white and I have a microphone and I debate politics. You're quick. Where are my debates today, guys? Where are my debates? Chat, tap the screen. Let's get to 20K. What are y'all doing? You're selfish. I liked Trump. Let me in, brother. You're welcome to hit the thing. Hit the request. Hello?
Yo, how are you? My bad. Can you hear me?
Yeah, are you a Trump supporter?
All right, so I started. Yes, yeah. I mean, you can hear the regret in my voice.
Oh.
Uh, Sadly, yeah. I voted for Trump, but I'm regretting it. I'm regretting it now.
Why do you regret it?
I mean, it seemed like the typical pump and dump. I mean, I always knew that politicians were definitely behind closed doors having dinners, and we weren't the ones really involved in anything. But I thought that he definitely had a strict policy in border security. And it just seemed like he's doing things off the cuff, not really thinking about them. Sorry if you can hear my kids.
You're fine.
So, and now it seems like I was completely fucking wrong. Excuse my language. It's just even after yesterday, I was like, okay, at least this guy's gonna back off. He's seeing that it's hurting American people. I invest in the stock market in futures, and yeah, I'm at it all. I've always been a fan of you because you really put people straight, but I never really thought about it. I don't know. Damn. Um, Ask me a question. I'm up for it.
I don't know. I'm gonna look for like a real, like actual debate. But I appreciate your testimony, bro.
All right, bro. Just so you know, keep doing what you're doing, bro.
Thank you.
But waking people up.
All right, we'll do. Up. What's going on with the stock market today, guys? Fell another 2.8%. 900 points. Futures down 818. Dow falls 1,300 points as tariff sell-off resumes after historic rally. Yikes, dude. Trump just bragged he made his rich friends billions. Of course. 25% tariffs targeting aluminum. 145%. When did we get to 145% on China? I thought it was 125. Oh, goodness gracious. China's not backing down, so Trump's Big Mag. Yeah. Kevin from Shark Tank says we should be doing 400% with China. God, why is he so dumb? I thought that guy from Shark Tank was fucking smart, dude. I miss Sleepy Joe so bad. Yeah, me too. Remember that guy that was in office that just kept his fucking head down and worked and passed a bunch of great bills? Didn't bully people to get his way? Didn't sue law firms that challenged his order? Didn't kidnap people off the streets and send them to CCOT? Remember that guy? Old Sleepy Joe? That old chestnut? Miss that guy. Guy liked ice cream? It's going to be a long 4 years, guys. How was climbing? It was fantastical. Joe Biden wasn't running the country. Everything was signed by autopen. Trump has like 4 years of people using autopen for his signature too, but they don't say that on Fox News. Whoever was running the country, I want them back. It was nice. Pickle's not gonna lie, green glasses are awesome. Fuck yeah. Trump's baseless autopin claim. Trump admits to using autopen after declaring Biden's pardons void due to autopen. Hey, let's go. I use autopens for contracts at work. I used to use autopen too. I used to print checks with my signature on them. Yeah, I don't read that propaganda. I only listen to Trent. Oh my God. And he was asked Monday if he used autopen. The president said he has. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Oh, here he is talking about it. This is him talking about it.
Have you yourself ever used autopen, sir?
Yeah, only for very unimportant papers.
Oh!
And I don't call them unimportant if you do letters.
Oh! Oh, there, he said it himself. Is that propaganda? Oh my God. Hello?
How's it going, man?
What's up? Are you a Trump supporter?
Oh yeah. Well, I'm an anti-corporatist. Like, you want the corporatists back in. They
A
lost.
corporatist?
Yeah, you want the corporatist America back. They lost to oligarchs. That's what happened. Corporatists lost to the oligarchs.
Okay, and you want the oligarchs?
I don't want corporatists.
Okay, explain to me why oligarchs are better than corporatists.
Well, after oligarchy, there's only two ways: collapse or revolution.
Oh God.
Now you're just up there, I want the corporatists back.
And how are
it's
they
great for
corporatists?
you.
Explain to me how they were corporatists.
Well, everybody worked for the corporations. They fell in line to whatever the corporations want. The corporations wrote the laws. So basically, the majority of people worked just for a place to live and food. Basically, it was like chattel slavery to the corporations, and it's like you're just like, oh, I want that back. Now we have
Are you
oligarchy.
a leftist?
Absolutely.
Okay. So you
I
really
voted-
think that you're an accelerationist.
No, I wouldn't classify myself as that.
So you really think that voting for oligarchs is a a step towards your leftist views?
Well, no, it's a natural progression of when you take freedom away from Americans, they're going to vote for the strongman to get rid of it. It happens again and again in history. It's just a natural.
So you consider yourself making a smart move for voting for the strongman who's going to even further create a wealth gap.
Mean, if we go back to the corporatists, it's just you work your whole life away for a place to live and some food.
So
and the corporations get richer.
What about?
It's like slavery. You're like, oh, forget that you were in slavery. Forget that part. You voted for oligarchs. Like, it's crazy to me. Like,
I think you're just saying bullshit, dude. Like Joe Biden, his administration did things. His administration did things that like try to close the wealth gap. Who they also taxed the rich. Like you're not going to sell to me that they just worked for the corporations.
Well, I mean, didn't he do the truth in sentencing thing, where he started locking up black people, and it was all these private prisons popped up, and yeah,
you're talking about the '94 crime bill.
Yeah, I mean,
the one that was
like a direct giveaway. It was like direct slavery to the corporations.
The one that was championed by the NAACP and the Black Caucus.
Believe me, the corporations run them too.
Okay,
you had the right pockets,
yeah, dude. Nobody knew it was going to happen. Stop it.
I mean, you pad the right pockets.
Okay, all right, yeah, okay. And you don't think more people are going to get arrested by Trump now, who's stomping all over people's rights?
It's going to be nuts.
It's going to be nuts. But you think this is going to come to a halt and burn to the ground, or you think that Trump is going to hold this and position himself to keep this way for a long time, and people are going to suffer even worse for a much longer period of time?
Historically, what has happened in the past is it's either a collapse of the society or a revolution. And once you
or it just stays like look at Russia, they're just chilling, right?
No, they're kind of like.
What about North Korea?
They're failing right now.
What about North Korea?
I mean, Putin's holding on for every little piece he can, just trying to get through this Ukraine thing.
Yeah, and Putin's going to bail. I mean, Donald Trump's going to bail him out.
Yeah, probably. Well, he's definitely an asset, for sure. But all in all, this is a result of corporatism, and oligarchy won in the vote against corporatism. Now you could see it however you want to see it.
I think you got tricked into doing this, and this is you coping.
No, I'm tired of corporatism. I'm tired of working my whole life away for a place to live and food. It's slavery.
Okay, then why don't
that is the majority of people. That's our reality.
Can you show me a place on earth where you don't have to do that?
There's some countries like Norway, Sweden, some of these socialist
where you don't have to work for a living.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, unless you're rich. I mean, if you're rich.
So that's not a place that does that.
No, I mean, you could do it here, actually, but you can't participate in
your whole political outlook is completely like it makes no sense.
No, listen, you can you don't have to participate in capitalism or the system of economics. You can go live in the woods and be free and make a fire and hunt. I mean, that's a reality. But if you want to participate in this system here, you just belong to the corporations.
Dude, I've talked to you before because you sound just like Joe Rogan. I've talked to you before, and you did not have this outlook.
No, the system's coming to an end that we have.
No, it's not.
It's capitalist,
says who?
Corporate. The corporatists lost. Joe Rogan, all those people, they're going to lose their money. The value of the dollar is going to disappear. The corporations aren't going to have as much sway when it comes to government. Already.
What, dude? Trump is lying on his back with his legs spread eagle, spreading his ass cheeks, and begging corporations to come in so he can cut their red tape and do anything they want to set up shop. What do you mean corporatists are gone?
Well, they're basically getting the runaround. All the value.
No, they're not. It says who?
Went down. Basically, all the value of their stock went down.
Okay,
It's just,
and then he's tweeting and saying, "Hey, now's a good time to buy," and then he's pumping and letting them fucking get rich.
well, he's helping his former oligarchs is what he's doing. You know,
His
when
former
you take value out of
oligarchs?
the market and give it to like, he's basically
He's transferring
saying,
wealth. When you create a crash in the economy, the rich people get richer.
well, his choosing, his oligarchs get richer.
Okay,
Like, we
or
have an
everybody who has who can
let's
see a
do this.
pattern.
Do we have an oligarchy now?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Did we have? They were a bunch of corporates.
They're not
now we have
mutually
an-
exclusive. Like corporatism and oligarchy is not mutually exclusive.
It sort of is, man. Because it gets
In
to
what
where-
way?
Well, it's usually a strong guy, and he just appoints who's going to be rich and who oversees what. it's
And then
getting
there's
that way.
little, and then there's like a tier below that of just corporations, and then a very poor middle and lower class who are just have to suffer at the hands of those oligarchs or the corporations. They're not mutually exclusive.
So I think they absolutely.
No, well, they're not, and you're incoherent. Fax raid, yo, thank you. Hello,
Hello.
hi, are you a
I
Trump
wanted to
supporter?
expand on what the previous guy was saying, and it was really confusing. What oligarchy and corporatism? These are like systems. I don't understand what he was trying to say.
I don't know. Are you a Trump supporter though?
I like some of what he's doing. I'm not a Trump supporter, though.
Did you vote for him?
Did I? No, I didn't. I didn't vote. I can say what I do like about him is that he's so incompetent. He's inadvertently destroying our imperialist apparatus through, USAID and programs like that.
I don't know.
You know,
I'm gonna talk to a real debate. I appreciate you coming up though. But USAID, whatever. Hello?
Hello, how are you there?
Yeah, are you a Trump supporter?
I fall in the same category as the guy before, but I would like to say why I didn't vote this year. I did vote for Trump back, before, but this year I decided not to vote simply because I didn't like either candidate. I didn't think either one of them was going to take us where we needed to be. So now we are stuck with Donald Trump as our president. I do like some of the stuff he's doing, and I don't like a lot of things he's doing. But yeah, I think that a lot of Americans are like myself and the guy that was right in front of me. We decided to take a step back this year because the whole freaking country is a mess, guy. Like everything, it's a mess. And I don't know what the answer is.
I don't know. I think that some people bought into whatever Trump campaigned on and tried to convince the voter base that somehow he was just as or more competent than Kamala Harris, who was the most qualified candidate we've ever had. I think it's silly to say both sidesism is even an idea.
Well, then I want to ask you the same question that a lot of people ask about Kamala Harris. What did she do policy-wise herself, her as Kamala Harris, as VP that would make her stand out above Donald Trump?
Okay, Trump had no policy in his first administration, so I don't think she needs anything, but she was tiebreaker for plenty of legislation that was monumental. Inflation Reduction Act, infrastructure.
Yeah, I mean, and that goes back to every one of us being able to have the views that we have. And that's what makes America great again, if you want to say that. Like, I have my views, you have your views.
What
We
does a VP need to do to impress? Like, what in the world are you talking about?
What am I
Name
talking about?
one thing a VP has ever done besides Kamala Harris. Go ahead. What's your
Well, I
standard?
was really hoping to go and talk about what Kamala Harris has done for the state of California, but you can talk about vice presidents. I mean, Gore tried to push the whole green thing, and you see how that worked out for him. But yeah, there's minimal things that a vice president can do. That's
So why is that your standard?
It's not my standard. I'm just saying that
I think that's a
don't know.
silly question then. Like, they're like, oh, what did she do? What did she write? What legislation did she write? Name one person that wrote legislation that ran for president.
That's not my gig, man.
Okay,
Like I
then
said,
why is that your standard?
it wasn't. I just wanted to know what the reasoning is behind folks who voted for Kamala to vote for Kamala. You know, like what has she done that made you want to vote for her?
She's been in government for 27 years. She's had experience in almost every branch. She has done nothing. Her client for her entire career is the people. She has worked for the people, and Trump's been working for himself. Been a fucking shark. Been ripping people off his whole life. We have testimony from countless people saying how horrible of a person he is, and it was like a hard decision for you.
Well, no, it wasn't a decision for me. I didn't vote because Kamala Harris, to me, didn't. The whole Democratic Party was not going to take me and my family and the way I live. And personally, I do live off grid. I own a bunch of land up here in Maine. I don't have to have a job. I host a TV show for Discovery Channel and I make television shows. That's all I do. And so, because I choose to live the way I do, I don't really have to have a job. So, you know, you can live without a job. You can make it just fine. It's the choices that
you are very lucky. This is not an option that everybody can just opt into, bro.
I did. 100%.
You just like someone came to you and said, "Hey, do you want to not work?"
Yeah, absolutely. So I used to make sailboats and tanks and stuff. I built the fastest tank in the world. Basically built it for the Prince of Dubai, and I was able to make connections through that.
Okay, you see how you're unique. Your position's very unique. That's not a thing everyone can do. Can I do that right now? Can I just not work?
Yeah.
Okay, what do I do? Where do I sign up?
Oh, it's pretty easy. So basically what I did about 20 years ago is I looked into what makes the most money in the shortest amount of time. And I found that being a boat mechanic and a boat repairman was the best way to do it.
But that's a job.
At a boat yard, right? And I only had to work there a few months, and I showed my skills. I'm a really good fabricator. I can literally build anything. And then at that point, I got hurt at work. I herniated a disc through my spinal cord and put me in a wheelchair for years. While I was in a wheelchair, I continued to think exactly the way I do now. I don't want to work. I don't want to work. And so I was a radio DJ for a long time. So I know entertainment. I've been in entertainment my whole life. And so at that point, I decided I wanted to be on TV. So as soon as I was able to get out of the wheelchair, I took my ass onto YouTube back about 15 years ago.
These are all jobs, dude.
Well, YouTube's not a job, dude. Like, you know,
what?
Really, I didn't get paid for that. Like,
are you fucking stupid? Yes, it is.
20 years ago, I didn't get paid.
Okay, but now you have 20 years of experience in doing things, producing things on a channel for people to view, and now you do that passively?
Now I get paid for it, but it took me 20 years to get to that point.
Okay, so of course I would have to work for 20 years to get to the point you're at. And you see how that's not fucking something everybody can do?
Everybody's going to hopefully live.
You are so naive. It's sad.
No, I think that everybody has the ability to take their life in their own hands, make a plan that has a end game, you know, and execute that plan. I mean, I took my ass from a wheelchair to owning a ton of land.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're a fucking jackass, dude.
Why?
Everybody can go just not work. Are you fucking serious?
Hey, Pickles, it's me on a different account. We debated like 2 months ago, and I said I'd come up here in 2 months.
Okay.
I realized that it says that you're live on your profile, so all my friends can see that, and I'd hate for them to see me doing something like this.
Okay.
So I apologize. I don't know if you saw CPI come out, negative 0.1, right? Inflation's cooling. Trump's doing a great job. He got a 10% tariff off. The stock market's only down 15, maybe maybe 18%.
Only?
Yeah. You do realize, I keep bringing this up to people, you do realize in 2022, the stock market was down 25%, right?
But
nobody was scared.
yeah, I know. But listen, that was an environmental thing, right? That was COVID. The whole world went through this. This is the doing of one man. This is one man.
2022, no.
Yes,
No.
yes. These were hiccups.
Because of COVID.
Okay, okay. Then what was it from?
That was
What
a
did Joe
shitty
Biden do?
response to COVID. A shitty response to COVID. Am I lagging? I think I'm
A
lagging.
shitty response to COVID.
Hold on. I'm lagging. Hold on. Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was a shitty response to COVID.
Oh,
We printed a lot of money. We printed, what's it, M1?
Oh, you're the one. You're the one that
like
thinks M1.
70%.
Okay, but we go off of M2, not M1.
It does.
No, it doesn't. M1 is
What's
physical
the
money.
difference between M1 and M2?
M2 is also M2 includes non-physical money.
Okay, so why doesn't M1 affect M2?
Because M1 doesn't represent the whole of all money in
remember-
circulation.
Yeah, but when you print quadruple money that you had, what's going to happen?
Okay, we're still talking about the whole, all of the money in circulation. It's a lot. It makes more sense to look at all of it rather than just the cash, the physical cash floating around. Do you have cash on your person right now?
Yeah.
Bullshit. I don't have any. I haven't seen a piece of cash in 2 months.
I have 100. Look, I think I have like $200 on me.
Okay, and what's your net worth? It's probably more than two.
maybe.
Yeah. Okay. So I rest my case, bro.
You don't think that when you give 300 million Americans each $1,000 into their checking account, right? That's what happened. Not Save Act, American Rescue Plan, those monster $1 trillion bills in 2022.
No, because Trump,
That's what we talked about.
yeah, I know. Trump printed 5 trillion. So if you hate that, then there you go.
I'd have to look it up, but I remember you told me about. I was going to look up the difference between M1 and M2, and what I remember is when you print a shitload of M1 money, inflation follows it. When you respond,
And when you print M2, when you do M2, the same thing.
you don't print M2.
Okay, you
money
adjust a
supply
ledger.
is,
Yes.
like you said, it's everything.
Yeah, you adjust a ledger. It's the same thing.
It includes, yeah, like you said, it includes M1. But when you print 800% more money than you have,
Dude, you're
It's
not
going
going to
to-
sell this to me. Look at this. Look at this. M2 money supply.
I hate when you bring up charts. You should bring up that one chart that says Kamala's deficit plan, because I don't know if you read the Reverse the Curse plan.
Uh-huh. Here's Biden coming into office, and here's the money supply, dude. Like, it literally goes down, too. It goes down at one point. You can't be fucking serious about, oh, look what he did. Look at what fucking Trump did. Trump went from 13 trillion to 19.6. You can't be serious, man. You're fucking, you're seriously, you're so disillusioned.
What are you trying to tell me? Like that
This is more meaningful.
I'm telling you, Pickles.
This is more meaningful.
How is this more meaningful?
Because it's M2. It's the actual money supply, bro.
No. Dude, M1 is checking accounts, savings accounts, cash. That's what credit cards, that's what people spend. M2 is your Roth IRA, your CDs. So you're not spending that money. You can't spend a CD.
Okay, Trump did more deficit spending than anybody. Trump spent more than Biden by far, by light years, by double.
Okay, if you look up the deficit, right, It was 3.5 trillion in 2020. If you exclude 2020, Trump was less than $1 trillion every year. Biden was 1.6, 1.7.
When you write a bill, do you pay for it all that year?
That's 10-year spending. When you spend 1.7 trillion on the American Rescue Plan in 2022 to get you out of 25% stock market crash, we were in a recession.
When
they changed the definition.
The way to pull yourself out of a recession is to print money, bro.
Not always.
Yes.
What in World War II, or not World War II, the Great Depression? What got us?
Okay, I'm not saying it's the only way, but that's how we were supposed to do it. You have to do it.
Spend money. No. They tried to spend money for the Great Depression. You had the CCC, all these programs. What eventually got us out of it?
What? Tell me.
A world war.
Yeah, to spur the economy, right? Like making jobs,
Exactly.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
What else did Joe Biden do, bub?
Broadband bill? I don't know.
The infrastructure bill, the Inflation Reduction Act, the Chips and Science Act, things that created an actual metric fuck ton of jobs. People had to go out and work because of things he wrote down on paper. People had to go out and fucking work.
What was the CCC?
I don't know. What is the CCC?
So the Great Depression, it was FDR created the CCC for jobs, right? And it didn't work. It didn't work, and it gave young men millions of jobs, and it didn't work.
I don't get what you're saying. To curb inflation.
That created all these jobs.
He did.
Yeah. Well, there were also bounce back jobs, but
No, the things that like the infrastructure bill is not a bounce back job, bub.
hold on. Where did all the money go for the infrastructure bill? Break it down, because I know where 500 billion of it went.
Where?
500 billion went to the green money, and then 250 of that didn't even go to like jobs.
So creating, investing in alternative fuels, things that we're going to, just like what Trump wants to do, manufacture here in the United States. That's bad now.
You want to know what is good?
What?
Companies investing in the U.S. like Taiwan and Apple, all this money pouring in.
Okay, Apple has been announcing investments in the U.S. every fucking year since 2021. 400 billion, 500 billion.
Because I know you guys always bring this up. Oh, they aren't going to do it. They were already doing it. Taiwan was not already doing it.
Listen, I don't know what to tell you, bro, but you're trying to find some way where the stock market dipping in 2022 was Joe Biden's fault, and you haven't really substantiated anything at all.
What I'm saying is that the stock market's only down 15%. I'd have to look to make sure.
Holy fuck.
What? You think the stock market can just keep going up?
Every single time Trump has introduced tariffs, it causes uncertainty in the market. And just like you're proud of people investing in the United States, not a goddamn soul wants to invest here in the United States because no one knows what the fuck the economy is going to do, because no one knows what the fuck Trump's doing with these tariffs.
And what does that drive people to do? What do they buy?
I don't know, bonds?
Yeah, good job.
Yeah.
And then what?
I don't know. Are you going to say he's going to refinance our debt?
No, I'm saying the dollar gets more power because people are buying the dollar again. And then what happens? Then rates come down.
Okay, and then the dollar gets more expensive, and then there's no way still that we're going to manufacture things here and sell them abroad because our dollars were so much that it costs so much money to produce things, and no one can fucking afford it.
Do you think that's what's going to happen? Or are you just trying to
I just know that.
You just know that? How do you know that?
Tell me right now. Could we ever make this cheaper than China can?
Yeah.
How?
Automation.
Okay, and does real estate here cost more or less than real estate in China?
I don't know.
It's more. It costs more. It costs more. Yeah. Okay. So when we rent a facility or we build a facility to own, and then we buy steel and put it in and have someone install that facility and build that facility, does it cost more or less for us to do that here or in China?
It's a good thing that business expenses are tax write-offs, isn't it? That's free money.
I don't care. I'm saying, how much does it cost?
You should care.
Dude, you're not getting the point. The thing is, we will never be able to make something like this cheaper than China. Ever.
Do you know how much it costs to get that product over here without tariffs?
I don't know. Still doesn't make it. Still makes a lot. It's a lot cheaper.
Okay, but fuck. I had a really good
Hey,
point.
I got free shipping on this.
Yeah. Good for you. What were we just talking about?
We're talking about how it will never be cheaper to make something here, so nobody will ever buy it from us. They're still going to buy from China. Worldwide, everybody, every one of our allies, every one of our adversaries, when they want to buy a plastic part to put in a car that they're going to make, and everything that you could possibly think of, when they make a net to bag fucking tangerines, they're going to buy it from China, not us, because we have a thing called minimum wage. We have a thing called the powerful almighty dollar that is way more expensive, worth way more than the currency they use in China. So we'll never make it cheaper, and no one will ever buy it from us. And that's why you're stupid for thinking it's possible.
The whole reason the middle class died is because we sent all this manufacturing overseas.
Yeah, because
right?
it makes no sense to do it here.
Why? We can see how we live
For every
now.
reason I just explained, you silly goose.
Obviously, it's not working. Our products are shit. Our
What's
fridges
the
last 6
solution?
years.
Run our face into the wall? For every reason I just
Main
explained to you, it makes no
manufacturing
sense to do
factories
it 20 years ago, and it still doesn't make sense to do it today, dude.
Why was life so good then 50 years ago when we
Because the
manufactured
wealth
more
because the wealth gap was smaller, because people didn't give fucking billionaires enormous tax breaks to go accumulate more wealth, so we had to print more money more often.
In 1992, what happened and who was president? It was Bill Clinton, right?
Okay.
So he enacted the Ober laws, which were strict tax policies on the rich. And what happened with the wealth gap? It went up. The wealth gap increased, right? And you argue, oh, it's not enough. I think no matter what anybody says, you're just going to say another thing.
What do you mean I'm just
I know
going to
you
say
love
another
your
thing?
stuff.
This is called logic, bro.
No, because you can just keep going. You can just keep saying, well, what if this? What if that? What if the dollar gets too strong? That's bullshit.
Okay, explain to me, after I just explained to you the dollar and the amount that labor costs and the amount that real estate costs here, explain to me a scenario where we can make things cheaper than China. Go ahead.
What if you don't have to make it cheaper, Pickles?
Okay,
Why do you have
and
to
if
make
you
it
don't
cheaper?
make it cheaper, who's going to buy from us? When people can decide all day, every day, if they're going to buy $10 glasses from us and then $2 glasses from China, where are they going to buy them? If they want to turn the biggest profit in a capitalist society, where are they going to buy it?
They're going to buy it in China because it's cheaper.
Hey.
Okay, now let me ask you this. If that product is only going to last a year, but the $3 product is going to last 10 years, which one would you buy?
I would probably buy the product that lasts longer, and then China in a year is going to steal that idea and make it just the same quality for cheaper, period.
Yeah, and what happens when it costs more to bring that over here via tariffs, right? For them to do that. They're going to keep
then the
marketing
United
product that
States will stop buying it from China, and every other person on Earth is still going to buy it from China. And the manufacturer that builds it here will get like 5% of the market share and be very mildly successful. Like it'll be a little splat, it'll be like a little fucking couple teaspoons.
This is a lot of what ifs, Pickles.
It's
Gas
not what
prices
ifs.
are down.
That is the perfect.
This is
That
what
is the
ifs.
exact example of what happens.
Okay, I'm confused then. So why are home prices coming down and why is gas down? It was 320.
I don't know, because the market's settling. I don't know. What does that have to do with this?
What I'm trying to say is Trump is doing a great job.
I feels like you just gave up on what we were talking about.
Because it's going nowhere.
I know, because you know you're wrong. I'm not giving you what ifs. I'm giving you, like, you can't think your way out of this.
We used to manufacture like 30% of our goods and keep them here. Now we import 97%.
I know. And I just told you how we can't just force people to make it here because no one will fucking buy it, dude.
Why won't they buy it? Because it's cheaper in China.
Yes.
So a tariff is going to raise the price of China and then not force people. The price for the Chinese product and the American product are going to be the same.
Okay, and that's only for Americans. What about Canada when they want to buy something?
We're going to create jobs.
No, we're going to create jobs that won't last at all because China is going to continue to maintain their cheap prices. And when Trump is out of office and an actual smart person gets in there and takes the tariffs away, those people are going to lose their jobs.
So this is what I'm saying, though, is like you just completely meandered off. You're saying, oh, well, what happens is Trump's going to be out of office and then they're going to completely change everything.
Yes, because he did this shit with an
Biden
executive
doubled
order because he can't govern. He can't make laws that everybody will vote on. He does things like an authoritarian, and nobody with a fucking smart, with two hemispheres in their brain is going to keep these tariffs up because free trade is better for everybody.
Then why did Biden double steel and aluminum tariffs?
Because that protected a few thousand jobs.
So what do you think Trump is doing, dude?
Trump's blanket tariffs for things like this makes no sense. Nobody's going to. Do we have a plastic sunglass industry in the United States I don't know about?
Dude, I just told you that Biden doubled aluminum and steel tariffs, and now he's protecting a few thousand jobs.
Yeah, a few thousand jobs.
There is way more than a few thousand people employed that create aluminum and steel.
Blanket tariffs are bad. Jeff, get this through your head. Blanket tariffs are stupid and bad. You're likening blanket tariffs to steel and aluminum tariffs.
Yes, let's go over this. So Trump granted 30% of people who put in for an exemption. He granted that exemption. Why? Because there are thousands of types of steel. Can you name me 5 types of steel?
No, but he's also doing. So what he does is dude, I don't need common sense to know different types of steel, dude. The thing is, Trump. Why do I need to know that? I don't care, Jeff. You feel insecure, so you're trying to drill me on things that are trivial.
No.
Yes.
There is more to glasses than just plastic. Okay, when a company imports A2 tool steel, right? They got that exemption, and then they're not paying the tariff.
Okay, this is the other part of the tariffs. Trump is putting up tariffs so that every company in the United States comes crawling on their knees to Trump and asks for these exemptions, and that he can exploit these companies for things he wants in exchange for exemptions. Yes, it is a way he is grasping power.
Give me one example of that. Give me one example.
Okay, so the corn industry and the fossil fuel industry. He told, "Hey, shut your mouth." When the corn industry said, "Hey, we're going out of business. Please, Daddy Trump, please bail us out." And he goes, "Okay, I'm going to make sure oil companies are forced to put ethanol in their gas, to have a mixture of ethanol in their oil. And don't you dare sell your farms because you're going to survive because I'm going to do this." And then he goes to the oil companies and he says, "Hey, do you want to buy these exemptions so you don't have to put ethanol in your oil?" And they go, "Yes." And he goes, "Okay, you should donate to my campaign." And that's what he did. He sold them. He fucked both sides.
So you just told me that he made the oil companies sell their ethanol, or the corn producers to sell their corn to oil companies for ethanol?
Yes. No, the corn companies rely on selling their corn to oil companies to survive, to turn a profit.
Okay.
And then they no longer had to. And he leveraged his position as president to sell exemptions to these oil companies so that they would donate to his campaigns.
I'll have to look into that further, but I mean, that's kind of just a wild statement.
You asked me for an example. There you go, man. That's one thing they did.
Yeah, that doesn't give me any companies. I could say, oh, Biden.
Dude, you were just drilling me on the types of steel
and gave them pardon. No, I was giving you an example, a specific example of how the exemptions, right, aren't affecting every business, because there are different types of steel. There's different types of corn.
Are you done?
I don't know if you can still hear me.
Yeah, you're obfuscating.
Okay. Well, I'll top back in a couple months because I think Trump's doing a great job, man. Kamala was going to do nothing for me. She said she was going to not raise taxes for the middle class, right? Trump's not able to do anything because of the Senate filibuster. It sucks. Luckily, financial bills can get passed with 50 votes.
Okay, well, this is what Trump's doing for you. If you're making below
Do you know
$360,000,
who made that chart?
ITEP.
That's not a bipartisan chart.
Yeah, Institute of Taxation and Economic Policy. When you guys start reaching so hard to call them bias, I feel sorry for you, man. It's just math.
So I'm confused, Pickles, how cutting my taxes is going to raise them. How does that chart depict
like, okay,
reality?
let me do you a favor, Jeff. I am going to give you a 5% discount on a $20 item, and then I'm also going to charge you $50. I gave you a discount. Don't forget.
So why aren't prices going up? I'm kind of confused. I don't pay more for gas.
Why does what does this have to do? Tax does not raise your prices of gas.
Why is
What are
he
you
charging me
fucking talking
$50?
about?
You just told me he's going to charge me $50 more.
In your tax bill. And guess
You're
what?
saying he's gonna
Guess
change
what?
the tax bracket.
Your tariffs. Have you checked Amazon prices today?
No.
Okay, so there you go. There's your hidden fee.
I bought a Chinese tint squeegee kit. Very cheap, $13.
Nice. All right.
Cheaper than buying
Check in about a month when people are out of inventory and they have to re-up from China and they have to buy it for 100% extra or 145% extra, and let's see the price then. And guess what? When you buy those items, just remember, Daddy Trump is taking 50%.
This is a what if.
No, this is Trump's tariffs that are in place right now. 145% tariffs. They're in
On
place
China.
right now. Yes.
Yep. Why? Because of the trade deficit that we have with China.
Are you fucking stupid? Do you know what a trade deficit is?
I do.
What
It's
is it?
when we buy more goods than we sell to that country.
Yeah.
I know
And
you
what
didn't
is
know that.
who does that hurt?
That hurts the consumer in the country that has the trade deficit.
How?
Because we import and buy more goods than we sell to them.
That was circular. How does that hurt us?
Because we migrate all those jobs overseas of things that we're buying.
That's not that has nothing to do with the trade surplus, bro. Now you're talking about jobs. How does it hurt us? How does a trade surplus hurt us?
A trade surplus doesn't hurt us.
Okay, how does a trade deficit hurt us?
Again, we send all of our jobs overseas. We
Are
lose
you
jobs,
fucking-
we lose money. Who does it hurt then, Pickles?
We have
Or how?
4.2% unemployment, dude. Who needs a fucking job right now? What are you talking about?
You didn't tell me how it hurts us.
It doesn't. It doesn't hurt us. Why the fuck would they buy things from us? It's too expensive. We're the richest nation on earth. That's why we have a trade deficit with every country next to us, because we have so much money and the dollar is worth so much more. That's why we have a trade deficit. Nobody understands. I have a trade deficit with Walmart. Am I getting fucked by Walmart? Every time I buy something from Walmart, they give me something of equal value.
Your trade deficit with Walmart, $400 billion.
No, it's somewhere in the hundreds of thousands probably at this point. Am I getting fucked by Walmart?
I feel like that's different though. Walmart doesn't employ you. I'm gonna keep referring this back to jobs
employment
because
has nothing to
it
do with the
does
trade
hurt us.
deficit. Are we sending jobs to fucking the EU?
We are losing jobs to China.
Dude,
that
your
things we can
your
produce here.
economic
That is-
views are so horribly incoherent. It makes
Says who?
my brain hurt. It says everybody in chat and me. You can't liken a trade
everybody-
deficit to losing jobs. That is not why a trade deficit is bad. A trade deficit is not good, bad, right, or wrong. It is a thing Trump is telling you is bad because he's fucking dumber than a box of hair, and so are you if you believe him.
What if I told you that you can look it up for yourself? Trade deficit, job loss.
I feel so taken advantage of that I get to buy super cheap sunglasses and everyday items from China very cheaply. I get so ripped off. I feel so bad that we don't have children working the coal mines and making plastic shit. We're so ripped off right now, even though nobody needs a job. What are you talking? Why are you so upset about this? We're not even having kids. Who the fuck's gonna work all these jobs for making plastic trinkets?
You're babbling right now. That's what you're doing. You're talking about nothing.
I'm sorry, it's going one ear and out the other, but you're babbling. You're sitting here telling me a trade deficit is bad because we're sending jobs there. These are just things that Trump tells you that are bad. They're not actual things that are connected. They're not actual things that we can fix by putting a tariff up because I just explained that to you. None of it makes sense, man.
Putting a tariff up to raise prices on the Chinese good in America, and then people are going to buy the American good. We just went over this.
Yeah, but 100% trade, it's still a tariff. 100% tariff doesn't fix half of the items we buy from China.
What? Dude, this is what happens is you're going to create this what if situation.
It's not a what if. Look, these glasses were $3.
It is a what if.
These glasses were $3. Now they're $6.
Okay.
Now they're $6. Name a company in the United States that makes $6 glasses. Go ahead, I'll wait. Name a company in the US that makes $6 glasses.
I bought some $10 fake Costas from a flea market.
And I bet they came right from China. Congratulations.
Probably. And why are they charging me $10?
Because they made $4 off of you, bub.
Dude, I don't think you're getting understanding is like a trade deficit is bad. You send all these jobs overseas.
Dude,
the dollar loses value.
Your solution is not a solution. I just explained it to you. I'm so sorry this is happening.
Then why are prices coming down, Pickles? I'm
How does that make any sense? Trump is putting tariffs on everything. What do you mean things are coming down?
Eggs are down.
Eggs are skyrocketing. They're at literally record high prices this morning. You fucking silly goose. Yes, they are.
Look up the egg price chart. I might have to go here soon. Egg price chart. Make sure it's updated.
Egg prices increased to record high. Here you go, man.
When was this article created?
Today.
Same recent.
Today.
Oh, no shit, huh?
Yes.
Okay. I can't see that it was created. No, dude. I looked up the chart and it's lower than they were before.
This literally, it says April 10th, 2025, 10:50 a.m. 45 minutes ago. This was written. A new record high again last month to reach new record high 623 per dozen, despite President Donald Trump's predictions. A drop in wholesale prices and no egg farms. So even wholesale prices coming down does not make it cheaper. And that's the chart you're looking at. You're looking at wholesale prices.
All right. Yeah. I don't know, man. I guess we'll see. Because Kamala wasn't going to do anything for me.
Okay.
I'll hop back in a couple months.
All right. Chat, tap the screen. If you enjoy these debates, give me a follow. How are you doing, Victoria?
I'm good. I wanted to talk to Jeff so bad. I appreciate you letting me up, though.
Anytime.
Oh my gosh. Stop drinking that Kool-Aid, Jeff.
Hey, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Why would you think that your opinion on the economy is better than people like Kevin O'Leary? I don't know if I'm pronouncing the guy that runs Shark Tank. He's a part of Shark Tank.
Kevin O'Leary is extremely rich, and his needs and wants from an economy is much different than yours and I's. Unless you're a billionaire, he gets rich when the economy crashes, and we don't.
Yeah, but he explained in great detail about why doing trade in China. You know, you and me, we don't do trade with China, right? But this impacts us every day. And so if I live on the East Coast, a lot of my jobs go around the ports. So anything coming in and out, that impacts me. So if I'm working with the ports, I'm working with goods and services coming in, the amount that I pull in, this impacts me every day. And so Kevin O'Leary,
I put on shoes every day, but it doesn't make me a foot doctor. I don't care what you do as a job.
Well, that's just kind of fallacious. I don't know if that's the exact word, but regardless, And so that's just not true, because if I'm a longshoreman, I make money off of these crates coming in. Do you know what a longshoreman is?
No.
Okay. So they're the people that take those big old crates, the containers, and they are the ones that empty them out and they load them up on the boat.
I know
So
what
you
you
do
do.
manual labor.
Oh, I know what you do. So you're the
Are you
people who
serious?
offload. Yeah, I know what you do. I used to work in logistics.
Yeah, that's a $200,000 a year job for somebody that doesn't
You
have a
do
degree.
manual labor.
So you should be very cautious about what you're kind of.
You do manual
You're
labor.
being
Hey, Nick,
okay.
quick question for you. What happens when that freight gets stuck in the ocean because of the tariffs and they end up having to sit on ships? And what happens to your job when that happens? Because that happened in 2017.
These jobs will always be there.
No,
What do you mean when
I'm
it
not
gets
saying
stuck?
they're not going to be. I'm not just saying they're not going to be there. So in 2017, I had $3.5 million worth of freight sitting on freight liners in the ocean because our contracts with our U.S. Large industry here in the U.S. I don't want to say the name of it, but I worked in the tile industry. So when we had that, they sat on the liners because we could not bring them on. What does that do to your job when they shut down?
No, I'm
Because
not
of the
sure what
tariffs?
you're looking for. Just what do you?
No, what
do you
happens
do?
is you can't offload that freight. So you sit idle and or get laid off because that freight sits on the ocean and not coming through the port where it's supposed to be. Having had someone who, like, having worked in this industry in international and domestic logistics, we had freight that had to sit on the ocean because of these tariffs. $3.5 million worth of material coming out of China. And that negatively affects your job, because what it means is you're not processing those things and it causes delays in the processing. So how does that benefit you?
How does, in the long run, this benefits everybody? So
No,
first of all, yes,
because
it
it ends
does.
contracts in the United States. Have you worked in an industry where it ends contracts? Because if you have contracts with a big seller, they buy product from you. You have actual contracts with them where it's a fixed rate. What happens when they can't get their material for the same cost? They go somewhere
Yeah,
else,
but
right?
we're being used and abused in that capacity. We're just waiting. Just because it's just sitting there.
That's not the government's fault. That's the corporations being greedy.
But this is the government's, because China has tariffs on everything. China, anything coming into their country, they have tariffs for. And this is standard operating procedure for every other
You're
country.
lying.
So
yeah, you're
this
not
is
actually.
standard.
You're literally lying.
Standard operating.
Tariffs
You're lying.
only affect the consumer.
That's
They
lying.
don't affect. Tariffs do not affect the companies. Those costs get offset to the consumer. Period. End of story. What does that mean?
So
your cost of your products go up. So that
which
freight
part
that
is
you're
a lie?
offloading, that freight that you're offloading onto a truck that gets shipped out to Walmart or to Home Depot or Lowe's, that cost goes up per item. So instead of paying, let's go with mosaic tile, because that's what we were working with out of China. Literally, no one in the United States can make it cheaper. Glass mosaic tile, you can buy it for maybe, I think it's like 20 cents on a square foot, and then you sell it for $2 to $5 depending on the glass mosaic. What happens when you can't purchase that? And you can't purchase that in the United. That means that homes can't have glass mosaic. You can't have those decorative designs, because the people here who were hoping that the tile industry would benefit from it could not in fact benefit from it, because they can't make it cheaper here. They can't charge what they would charge getting it out of China.
First of all, I would never put my money in anything coming from China like that. I have a Harley.
Then why do you shop at Walmart?
Harley because and again, who said that I did?
Bless your heart. Do you think Harley doesn't get things from China?
No, I don't use. I'm telling you that I toss my Harley because they get their clothes from China. You understand that very clearly. And then the Made in America Act, that's what I usually would follow. Where was it made? Because I personally am not gonna anything like that. Some tile. Sorry about that. You're getting tiles or something like that from China. This is because the only reason that it's cheaper is because the labor, because they're using kids to.
That's not true.
That's not true.
That's not true.
That is absolutely true. The reason
That's
that
not true
all right,
because look,
look
here's
at Cisco.
why it's not true. Here's why it's
Look
not
at
true.
Cisco.
Because hey, Nick, I understand your sentence doesn't start in the middle of mine. When we're talking about this product, as someone who imported it, we imported it from China, India, Spain, and Italy. Now, those different products, based on the product, came out of those different countries. Mosaic tile, glass tile, is cheaper coming out of China. There is no company that can produce it cheaper, because you're not going to go work in a factory for $15 an hour. I know that for a fact. I know that you're not going to, if you lose your job, which will happen because if we're doing this with the tariffs, you're going to get pulled. Your job's going to go away.
Yeah, they're going to automate your job. It's going to be, it's probably the first thing to go. Your job's gone, bub.
Yeah,
Are you familiar with the company, the brand Cisco, that runs all the vegetables and stuff all around America?
Yes, I'm familiar.
Are you familiar with how much they pay their employees?
No.
Just the basic person that works inside of the warehouse, it's $80,000 a year. Very entry level job.
Do you think $80,000 a year is a lot of money?
I think $80,000 a year is fair, and that's what I'm willing to pay $5 for a head of lettuce, because I know that Cisco's importing. What they're doing is fair.
Okay, I get that. You're championing fair trade, but not every company here has to do that, and they won't, because capitalism is a thing. Everybody's going to go for the highest profit margin if they can, and that's why your job's probably going to be the first to go. When they can automate your job just to offset some of the prices that we're going to be paying for Chinese goods because of the tariffs, your job's gone, bub.
That's absolutely asinine. To say
It's actually, it's
my
not
job
asinine,
is gone.
Because I'm pretty sure, if I'm not
can't
mistaken,
automate.
your job there was a fight. Because are you a part of a union for your job, or are you one of those non-union people?
Sure, no, it's union.
Okay, so you're union. So you support, because you know unions are the reason that you have fair labor and all that, right? That's very progressive of you. I love that. Did you know that they had to fight this administration because they want to automate your job, and the corporations who want to automate your job?
You can't automate jobs like that.
Yeah,
yes, you can. Are you serious?
I literally work in an industry where my job could be automated. Buddy, I know for a fact I'm not safe. Your job is not safe either. If my job's not safe, neither is yours. So that union job, you need to start voting for people who actually support unions and protect your employment, because I, like you, agree that we should not automate any of those jobs. We should make sure that your job is protected. You know who does that? It's not the Republican Party, and it's not Trump.
Can go on strike and force and hike prices up is because you cannot. This is
literally. Have you read the screen? I've had this article up for like 20 minutes now. It's literally an article talking about how your job's being threatened to be automated, and you guys had to go on strike.
No, it wasn't because of automation.
It was
read the screen, bro.
Threatening to strike over automation. You can't. I'm telling you, you can't do it. I'm telling you, go to any warehouse job. These jobs can't.
Don't worry about it. Hey, don't worry about nobody can work a joystick like you. Nobody can do it.
Well, I'm saying that you just said, hey, you do labor for work. However you said it.
Nobody rocks a joystick like you. I promise.
You push a pencil. What do you do for work?
No, you're looking at it.
Are you asking me what I do for work?
And again, where you're like, oh, you're looking at it, so you don't have the actual wisdom of working on these jobs to be able
you're
to say,
right.
oh, you can automate
Hey
these.
Nick, just real quick. I worked in international and domestic logistics for 5 years. My job went out the window because of these tariffs, because not only did it affect the international thing, because it affected the company I worked for, the tile industry, it also affected when I went into domestic logistics at a US-based company, because truck drivers were getting fucked over on rates. And consequently, so was the company, the small business, who also supported Trump. So what happened to both of those? I got laid off. So I ended up switching industries, and I now work in the tech industry as a support representative. So I do tech support. My job can be automated. There's no union for my job. There's no union to stop it. In fact, all the tech bros, some of which I've worked for their companies, are out here praising Trump because they adore. I said international and domestic logistics. My job was
China and the Netherlands.
That can be automated. Yeah.
China and the Netherlands both have automated longshoremen.
but they still
Oops.
and I mean, like, I'd have to look that up. That's fascinating how you could just
They
put
might
Google
need somebody
search
like you to
whatever.
put their hands on their hips and stand there. They
No,
might.
that's not what they do. And I think that even the way you talk about it shows kind of your level of ignorance to it. So
Hey,
I'm just gonna walk
they
away
might
from the
need you to go. They
Have a
they
nice
might
day.
need you to stand around with a clipboard or something, but I doubt
gave
it.
up. Have the day you voted for, Nick. That was great.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate you having my back on that one. That was good info. But
Look,
I usually do 1v1s, by the way, but I'll let you say a few things
yeah,
if you want to.
I'm here. I'll say a few things and I'll hop back to my liberal job. You know.
Okay.
So guys, I'm Victoria Broderick. I'm running for Congress in Tennessee's District 4. I ran in 2024. I decided to run because my opponent, Scott Desjardins, was going to run unopposed, and I said over my unalived body. If you guys don't know, my opponent was rated by the Republican and Conservative magazine as the worst congressional candidate in DC. He is most famously known after being a 14-year incumbent for pulling a pew-pew on his wife and forcing her to get an abortion and their divorce papers. He has also forced 2 other partners to get abortions, including one he had to drive out of state to get to a abortion clinic that allowed for later abortions because they didn't do that here in Tennessee. He lost his medical license because he was prescribing medicine in payment for sexual relations. And, you know, is a MAGA Republican. And the only difference between him and Marjorie Taylor Greene is he's just not as outspoken. He has been caught in closed door sessions saying he doesn't speak to constituents because if he did speak to constituents, he would lose votes. I don't know about you, but I don't think that that's the kind of person that you want representing you. So if you guys are feeling froggy, you can go to the link in my bio. Go give me a little bit of love. I've got lots of videos and contents. But if you're feeling extra froggy, today is April 10th, so you can donate $4.10, and that will make me know that you came from TikTok, and I'd be happy to write you a thank you note from Tennessee because I do that as well. And I appreciate you so much, Pickles, for letting me up.
Thank you so much. I hope you have an awesome day.
I hope you do too. Thank you guys. This has been great, and I'm going to still be here listening because I love the debate.
Okay.
Victoria Broderick. I'm running for Congress in Tennessee's District 4. Thank you guys.
All right. Much love. Bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. Chat, tap the screen. Let's get to 100K real quick. We've got 1,400 people watching on TikTok here. Let's keep raging. Chat. I also have a Venmo Cash App in the bio. We are doing, we also do pay to kicks, and I'm going to be upping my prices for pay to kick next week. So this is probably the last week we'll be doing $25 pay to kicks. So if you don't like somebody, it's $25. We'll kick them. Hello.
Hopefully you get that 25.
Okay. You a Trump supporter?
Hey, yeah, absolutely. I was gonna try to chime into you guys' previous conversation, but she had left. But that's okay. Basically, I'm hearing a lot of talk about the increase in tariffs and how that's going to increase products and prices because, of course, they're going to pass that down to the consumer, correct?
Sure.
Why would anybody believe that increasing the corporate tax rate wouldn't do the same?
It's different because you can eat the corporate tax rate. So, for instance, have you ever seen, can you name a thing that dropped in price by 15% when Trump dropped corporate taxes?
Particularly, everything was cheaper when he did that. I mean...
Okay, but it's still...
Across the board. So, can I come up with
we
something
still have that. We still have that. But here's the reason. I'll draw it out for you. So, when you... Have you ever done bookkeeping? You're talking to a 10-year veteran of bookkeeping.
No, I mean, I've done like very basic shit.
Okay, this is revenue. This is all of the money a company receives, revenue, okay? And inside of it, you have the cost of material, and then you have the cost of labor, and then this is called cost of goods sold. That is something that you cannot go below, and everything that goes above it is profit, right? So if you look at something like a tariff and it's 100%, that adds on to the cost of goods sold. So here's a tariff, and that is now part of this. So we'll add that on. Because obviously, if you just try to eat it, you have a 0% profit margin. But if we
Right,
talk
but you
about
can't eat a 20
no, you
can't
can't.
eat a tax increase.
Yes, you can.
Like a corporation would still have to pay more that year on their tax bill than they did the previous year.
Yeah, I
And
know.
once that happens,
But
they're going to raise the price on their products to make up for that because that's how the rich stay rich.
no, because
We all
when
know
you
that.
when you increase the price of the product, you also increase your profit margin, and then your taxes also go up again. So it's never ending cycle. You can't do that.
It is an ending cycle. I mean, at the end of the day, what I'm getting at is it's the same concept. Like, if you raise taxes on a corporation, they will raise their prices or they will make cuts throughout the company to make up for that. That's another point that you might have with what you just said. So raising their prices would raise their tax bill. They'd have to pay more taxes. Okay, well then let's just fire a few people and make up for what we have to pay extra.
No, and then their profit margins would
Right?
increase, and then therefore
Let's
their
go around
tax
and make
liability would go
cuts.
up.
Right, so why would anybody want to do business here when you're playing with corporations like this instead of incentivizing them?
I don't think you're hearing me. So again, let me finish my
am
thoughts,
hearing you.
okay?
I'm
This
telling
is
you that
this
I
is
agree with incentivizing them.
hold on. This is your profit right here, okay? And then here's your tax liability. 20%. If you shrink your profit, your tax liability goes down. If you increase your profit, your tax liability increases. So if you're overcharging for your goods, it increases. It increases your tax liability. It's a never-ending process. You can't do that.
Yeah,
And if you do try to increase your cost of goods sold, if you do try to pass it on to your customer, there's going to be a company out there that doesn't. And these two companies have to compete. So the market will keep these companies from doing it. So a company who doesn't pass it on to the customer, they're going to receive more volume of business and they're going to profit more.
The right side companies are the companies that are overseas. They're not American companies,
No, they'll be here too.
like you just explained to your chat.
No, they'll be here too. If I'm in business and I see a company that is passing 100% of their tax liabilities onto their customer, and I don't do that, those customers are going to come buy my product because it's cheaper and I'll have a higher volume of sales and I'll have a higher profit.
You won't make as much profit.
Yes, I will.
Yeah, dude, it doesn't work that way.
It absolutely
simply
does work that
does
way.
not work where you
It
come in.
absolutely does.
So if I'm paying, look, I made 100,000, you made 100,000. We both pay 25%. You have the same amount of employees and make the same product as me.
Mhm.
I decide to go make cuts in my company because of the recent tax increase. You stay the same and keep the same amount of employees. I will profit that year more than you.
No,
Period.
here's the
Because
thing
I'm
though.
not
Here's the
paying
thing. If you're selling a bagel for $5 because you're such a stingy bitch and you don't want to pay like 7% more on your taxes, and I still sell it for $3, I'm going to get 100 more customers than you, and I'm going to shave my little $2 profit margin off of 100 extra customers, while your 50 customers pay you whatever $5. I will still out earn you. I will still out earn you. I'll have more profits, and then I'll have the same tax liability as you.
Right, but like you had just said, which is a great point, instead of doing all of that and feeling good about yourself, what I'm telling you is that people will go, hey, why wouldn't I just move my company over here and then ship it back in and avoid all of this?
Well, then you
wouldn't
have
somebody
to,
do that?
and then you have to worry about shipping. Then you have to do all that. Listen, you can do that all day, but people do that all day. People still do that. So it makes more sense for people like Kevin O'Leary and all these other people that people champion on the right. They literally start their thinking process by how cheap is it to make in China. That's literally where they start. They're not dumb. They're not like, okay, we're going to start with a mom and pop manufacturer here, and then eventually we'll go to China if the tax liability increases to 25%. 7%.
Why does Kevin support 400% on China then? I mean, if that's where he does primary business.
It would have to be it would have to be permanent. So for 4 years, if we have a 400% tariff on China, and then someone like Biden or Kamala comes back into office, they would cut those tariffs right in, they would turn those tariffs right off, and people would lose their jobs immediately because no other country, no one here would continue to buy the more expensive product. They would just go ahead and buy it from China and turn a higher profit. And even if they didn't, some other company will come and start, and they will buy all these products from China and put your company out of business if you're just stamping American flags on it.
So what happens to American companies, right, that are selling stuff? So let's say a Florida avocado farm, which there's not a whole lot of them, but there are. Let's say Florida avocado place, right? They have an avocado for $2, but you can get one from Costa Rica for $1. Once you put these tariffs on there, now the avocado from Costa Rica is $2, just like the American avocado. Me wanting to support American businesses, I just go ahead and buy the $2 avocado from America, even if it's 25 cents more, right? Because you're supporting American workers.
Your sentiment is rare. Your sentiment is rare. It's not everybody, right?
But
I
that's
just
how
buy.
tariffs work.
No, it's not.
That's
Like
how they-
no,
that's
not
how they
everybody just feels like a
incentivize.
patriot every day. Some people are just trying to survive, like me. And
Right, but
I have 49-cent avocados right now on my counter. And then I saw the dollar avocados that were organic and probably made here. I didn't buy those dollar avocados. I bought the 49-cent ones.
Well, you should eat organic more, but that's neither here nor there. What I'm saying is, at the end of the day, I think that's the idea here, and I know that you disagree with it. And I think there's a lot more ideas here. I mean, I think it's really about bringing people to the table and creating a fair trade across the board. I know that this is a rough way to do it, but what you're seeing is billionaires do business. And at the end of the day,
And using us as
bringing on-
pawns.
I mean, what in your life has increased drastically in the last 3 months? What in your life has drastically increased?
Well, my parents' 401k lost 10%, which is tens of thousands of dollars. So they're fucked.
In the last 5 years, it's still 68%
Okay,
up.
but it's still down today, this week. We don't yell at you guys every time the stock market is down and say, "Oh, it's still up from the past 10 years." The stock market always goes up.
Right. So why are we worried about it?
Because there's 11,500 people that turned 65 today, and they're trying to retire, and Trump just fucked them.
Okay, and what happened in 2022?
The environmental factors of COVID happened in 2022, unless you know something I
That was
don't.
in 2020. Stock market started going up again in 2021. and then it
2022,
changed in 2022, right?
2022 was 9% inflation from COVID.
Okay, so that had a little bit to do with it, but that has nothing to do with it tanking completely.
Okay.
Let me ask you this.
Tell me what Biden did to do that.
Highest-
Tell me
what
what
was
one
the
person.
Inflation Reduction Act?
Tell me one person that was responsible for.
The Inflation Reduction Act.
Okay, what about it?
It aimed more towards energy climate change than it did inflation, and it increased. It put a 1% tax on buybacks for stocks.
Good. Buybacks
So, like,
should
what
be
are you
illegal.
saying? Like, why would they be illegal?
Because they break the system. You guys talk about all day about how lower taxes allow people to invest more into hiring people and making jobs, when we all know that's bullshit. That's not what they do. In fact, hiring people is tax reducible already. But what they do is they buy their own stock and they lay people off. They do buybacks so that they can make their investors more money. It doesn't help anybody but a few rich people. A few thousand rich people get a little bit richer, and nobody gets anything out of it.
But shouldn't that incentivize you to start your own corporation instead of being mad at the guys that did it?
No, I'm not just mad and resentful. I'm just saying it is a useless mechanism in our economy that concentrates wealth.
So again, I think that my point still stands on, you guys argue that raising tariffs will increase cost on goods. I argue that raising taxes will increase cost.
And
on
I just
goods.
showed you
We
with
both gave an
crayon
example of
how that's
how-
not the same.
Yeah, your crayon explanation is not good enough, though, Pickles. That's not an explanation.
I just
of
don't
why
think
I
you
would not.
understand it, and that's not my
And
fault. It's
You
yours.
even admitted, you somewhat conceded that why wouldn't I just take my company and go across the water and ship it back in and defeat the tax code? And your answer was because of the cost of shipping. Well,
Yeah,
I'd still
and
save
it's
money.
also it's okay. Let's talk about an everyday startup. Just like we were using bagels. I want to make I want to start a bagel shop down the street. I am a regular everyday person. I'm going to get a $20,000 loan from a bank. Hold on. I'm going to get a $20,000 loan from the bank. Can I just go to China?
What are you talking about?
If I want to start a bagel shop, what would I do? Is there an option for me to go to China?
You would source that. Hopefully you would source that locally. I mean,
yeah.
There's no need to go to.
Okay, yeah, that's why you're fucking. That's why what you're saying is fucking incoherent. Because not every small business can just go to China.
You're talking about a small business. I'm talking about a corporation.
Okay, and how do corporations start?
How many employees do corporations employ?
There is no rule for what a corporation has to do or employ. There's no rule for how big a corporation or how many employees you have to have it to be a. In fact, you are a corporation the day you start a small company. You're a C corp or an S corp. The second you fucking get an EIN, you are a corporation with 1 or 0 employees.
Yeah, in some way, in some form, yeah. But you could be corporated, and I think you know what I mean by that.
Yeah, I know. You're not saying anything.
I'm saying that at the end of the day, if you raise the corporate tax rate, it's going to incentivize people to go elsewhere.
No, it's not. What choice do I have as a small business owner that wants to do a bagel shop? Where am I going to go? To China? No. That's why your shit's incoherent, dude.
No, because you're just referring to a small I'm talking about like fucking Amazon, and I'm talking about
Amazon doesn't even pay taxes. What do you fucking care?
Because they're incentivized to employ millions of people.
Yeah, I know.
They do pay taxes. They just get tax breaks. All of the people they employ pay taxes out of their check.
Yeah, I know.
Every one of them.
Yeah, I know. The employees do. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's called an incentive. Thank you for
okay, so same thing. So the same thing. So that's why your logic's broken. There's not a tax incentive in the world that's going to make Amazon come pay taxes and not offshore their little fucking business on the Cayman Islands.
Well, I don't know how much offshoring they're doing. I mean, I have 3 huge warehouses where I'm at, like right here in Florida. So it's like
yeah, I know, but they're entities probably on the fucking Cayman Islands.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just seeing them build more in America recently.
Okay. Yeah.
But that kind of was my theory on the tariffs. And then your friend Victoria had made an example of, tile, and of course you would only buy from China because tile is cheap. You have the options of India, China, and Italy. Well, I would ask her to explain why is Italian tile more. It's for the same reason why American tile would be more, because of the labor costs and stuff like that. The Chinese tile is only cheaper, as your previous guest was saying, because of the labor cost. And we will not.
Italian's probably more expensive because it's luxury. It's a luxury item. It's probably artisan.
Right, and that's what American would be. Is more of
we don't have artisan tile makers here, bro.
Listen, Pickles. I'm talking about China first of all, right? We can make products far better than China's making them. Yes, they would cost a little bit more.
Says who? Says who?
What do you mean?
China literally. China makes.
Are you guys so advocating for China instead of the United States?
You just think China is this shitty plastic like maker of shitty things when they literally make better cars in every single way. They make better cars. They're not cheaper. They're not less. They're better in every single way, and they're cheaper.
They're better. They're just better in emissions and how many miles they go. But they're very small. They're very unsafe, and they're you know, they're not good cars. Like in
Okay,
general,
they're
like,
just not good. Got it.
they're not. Yeah, I mean, they're like, you know what I mean, like 2.4 engines. Like, again, you're getting what you pay for when you buy American,
No, you're not.
but you are, and you're getting what you pay
No,
for when
you're
you buy
not.
female.
Have you seen a Tesla?
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah,
My
it's by far not even it doesn't even come close to a BYD.
No, so my nephew's stepdad is a vet, and they just bought a Cybertruck, and it is really cool.
Yeah, did he have to return it yet because they have 100% recall?
No.
Okay.
No,
Well,
it's
they
super
have a
cool.
recall.
I mean, almost my Ford F-150 I'm in right now had a recall last week, so.
Okay, but there's 100% recall. They're garbage.
Okay, and Hyundai didn't have a recall before, like
Those are
like
South Korean.
Okay, I'm just saying. Every vehicle has this is a new vehicle he's coming out with, and you know what's funny is literally between last Donald Trump's and 2016 to now, Tesla and Elon Musk, you guys in the Democrat Party thought that he was the Ritz-Carlton of people. Like, literally had no problems, nothing to say about the guy except that he was good, he was saving the economy or saving the climate.
He was a great guy until he started doing Yahtzee salutes and started calling the Liberal Party brainwashed because his daughter came out as trans, and then he started backing the far right party in Germany, and he completely flipped on us with politics.
His son went around his back to doctors, and they were prescribing his son medicine without his permission. He refers to him as his son. He's the one that birthed it.
He said that his son is dead.
To him.
Her.
Right. I'm referring it to how the parent who created the person refers to it.
Okay. Well, I'm referring to that person as the way they refer to themselves, which I think one-ups you.
Okay. I mean, whatever. I'm a carrot today, right? Like. Anyway, my point being, I think we moved on past the tariffs. Why else do you think Donald Trump sucks? I mean, aside from his character flaws, I typically try to stay away from that because every single politician can kiss my ass if they think that they're better in character.
It is a trope that politicians are liars or whatever. Trump is like a caricature of a liar. He's like the caricature of the flaws you see in a politician. He is just like, even last week, he was just lying his dick off about how tariffs even work. And for the half of your party that still thinks a tariff is a tax on a foreign country, they think that Trump is doing this amazing job. They have no idea what's going on.
I really don't think half of anybody. I think you're finding like a select few people that don't follow politics like this. And he's
relying on that. I know that it's hard for you to cope that that you guys bought into tariffs being a tax on a foreign country, but that's what people voted on, and they were duped. They were duped.
I bought into tariffs causing prices to go up slightly in America, but the products would be made in America. That is what my thought process.
Excuse me, Will. Thank you for the kick. $25. Thank you so much. W Will's in the chat. W Will's in the chat. Thank you so much, Infectious, by the way, for sending me all those sources. Guys, if you're a friendly, please get out of my box. I swear to God, I will butt slap you. Get out of my shit. Get out of my shit. Get out of here. Go on, get. Go on and get. I see you guys getting out of there. Go on and get. And Will says, kick Real American for being an overconfident idiot. There you go. Hello, Chris. Hello? You're muted, by the way. Okay. Yellow.
Hi. Do you mind if I jump back to the American build quality point for a moment?
Are you a Trump supporter?
No?
Go on and get. Yellow. Hello. Amazing. You're becoming very liberal. You're gonna vote Kamala into office. You're gonna blow blue all the way down the ticket. You hate Donald Trump. Eat the rich. Healthcare is a right. It's a human right. You don't hate poor people. Country music sucks. Hello?
Hey, you're cracking me up, bro. That was hilarious, man. Yeah, dude. Um, nah, I just think it's interesting, and the way you're doing your whole thing, just want to give you mad props, bro. First off, I mean, this is America. We can do anything that we want to make money and develop uh, a business for ourselves and that sort of thing. And I love that, you know. And we have China in a way to thank for that because what are we on? A Chinese platform, right? Very cool, very cool. I'm not saying that we shouldn't have relations with other company or other countries or anything like that, but I am also on the side of bringing jobs back here to America, and we've got AI and we've got automated stuff that you were talking about before, but there's just a lot of discernment that human beings have that computers just don't, you know.
Yeah. Are you a Trump supporter?
I'm a supporter of any president that is in office because that's the way my grandfather raised me, you know. He always told me that it doesn't matter if you agree with everything that they're doing, they're still running our country and they deserve respect.
What if Hitler was running the country? Would you love him?
Well, I mean, do you love the Jews?
I don't think they're good, bad, right, or wrong. Sure.
Okay. All right. Well, that's where all your media is coming from. You know what I mean?
Okay, but what if Hitler was in office?
What
Would
about
you
it?
would
I
you be a
mean,
supporter of
that's kind
him?
of that's a pretty wild one to think about. No, obviously,
So
we
I
fought to get rid of somebody like that
yeah,
because he was a dictator, right? So we
yeah.
don't we don't
But
participate in dictatorship.
so what how would we call out someone that's being a dictator doing authoritarian shit? Shouldn't we be able to do that? Shouldn't we?
Do you feel like Donald Trump is a similar character to Adolf Hitler, bro?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
In what way? How would you go about explaining that argument?
So, first of all, he's looking at trying to stay in office for a while. He's looking at running a third term. Second of all, he's stomping all over First Amendment rights, our Second Amendment rights, Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment, Sixth Amendment rights. He wrote executive orders to go against our 14th Amendment rights. Like, he wrote an executive order directly going against natural, or what is it called? Citizenship, birthright citizenship. And yeah, the Republican Party's burning books, banning books.
Well, I mean, you got to look at the time and what's going on in the moment. You know what I mean? So there may be a directive that's assessing the current situation. You know what I mean?
Should one man be able to make that decision?
Somebody's got to. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, did you know that Hitler also had people cheering him on when he was doing these things, just like you're doing?
Look, I'm not cheering anybody on, man. But I have got to say that we need a bully in our corner at this point, because we've got a lot of miscellaneous shit that really, and excuse my language, we've got a lot of miscellaneous stuff that is affecting our economy in a big way.
We're literally the most successful economy on earth. What's wrong with our economy?
We're in a major deficit. We're in a major deficit.
That Trump put us in?
Yeah, we owe. No, Trump didn't put us in this. This has been ongoing.
No. What's our deficit?
I couldn't give you numbers, but I
we're
know
like
it's
negative 37.
Trillions.
We're negative $37 trillion in debt right now.
Yeah, exactly.
And how much of that?
Because of the tariffs,
how much of that was due to Trump?
Not a lot, I wouldn't think.
$12.5 trillion.
Okay, and I mean, we could go into like what the money's been spent on and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's just tax breaks for rich people. Tax breaks for rich people. I'll spoil it for you.
That's a yeah. I don't know if that's 100% true, buddy.
I've been debating this for like 8 months now, and it's provably true, bro.
So this is your full-time job?
Yeah.
That's good, man. No, I appreciate it, and thanks again. I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you for bringing me on. I do appreciate that. So I'm looking at this from a objective kind of viewpoint. You know what I mean? There are some things financially that could be dealt with, and I feel like Trump is dealing with those things.
Like what?
Right. Well, take for instance, like if you were to walk into Canada without proper documentation and stuff like that, what do you think would happen?
I don't know. If I'm an American citizen, they might give me asylum.
Asylum? That's a good one. No, I don't think so, man.
I do think so.
Okay. All right. Well, try it, dude. Do that on your next live. Go to Canada and see what happens without documentation. See what happens.
Okay. Did you know that there's certain countries that are accepting American citizens for asylum right now?
I did not know that. Holy cow. That's pretty wild. Which countries?
I'll look it up.
All right.
France, Ireland, Scotland, European Unions, Mexico, Canada.
From what I understood, Canada has very strict immigration laws, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, they're accepting people who are American for asylum.
Interesting. Yeah, but you got to go through the proper channels to get that accomplished,
Same,
right?
same, same thing here.
Well, yeah, you're supposed to. Yeah.
And do you know what that is?
Yeah, there's a few different routes that you could take, you know, either a tourist visa or a work visa or something to that effect.
You don't need anything like that to do asylum. No.
Asylum, yeah, but you have to prove your point, you know?
Yeah, you have to see a judge.
So what kind of documentation could you provide to move to Canada?
I could probably just go there and say, "Hey, here's my name. You can look me up," and they'll look me up.
Probably. Maybe.
Yeah, you ever heard of Interpol?
Yeah. Interpol. I know I've heard the word before, but what are you talking about?
It's like a big network of ways we can background check people across the world.
Oh, I see what you mean, like the DMV.
Sure.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Cool, man. Well, hey, thanks for your time, dude.
All right. Thank you. I hate when people are like, "Oh yeah, if you try to go into Canada, it'd be so much harder." It's probably the same. It's probably just about the same. Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
Oh, hi. How are you?
Doing good. Are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah, I'm Trump's supporter because I come from China.
Okay.
Yeah. Just I like listening to you guys just talking about the tariff thing, and my point is just first of all, is all the consumer pay the tax at the end. I can't understand why so many people doesn't realize that this very weird thing. I don't know why actually. And the second, all the factories, even if American want to produce their own product, but the factory can't be built in one day. Not saying the supply chain, they need maybe several years to build the whole system. And during this system, what do you consume? You will just pay higher price for all the goods.
Well, Andrew,
Yeah,
I feel
that's
like this is antithetical to Trump's plan.
yeah. Actually, I don't understand where Trump wants to go, but I fully support him because he made a lot of chaos.
He made a
Yeah,
lot of what?
make a lot of chaos in this world. Yeah, if Trump didn't comes out, I think maybe American will go to another way. I'm not sure whether you can understand what I'm saying.
Like
But
chaos?
both,
Is that what you're saying?
yeah,
So you like Trump because he's making a mess?
yeah. Because I'm a Chinese. Sorry.
Oh. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. Hey, I. All right. Yeah. Okay.
Actually, I don't understand his logic about the whole tariff thing. Yeah, because there's no productivity in American at the moment. If you want to just take the tariff policy, you should build your factory first. When your
Yeah,
factory built up,
I agree.
and then the whole supply chain you set up, and then you can put the tariff
I
on other
agree. That's a
countries.
good point. That is a good point. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know why he just put this policy on at this moment. It's not a good timing for America, I think.
Andrew, you're making too much sense. I love you. I wish you
Okay,
well.
thank you.
Enjoy your
Yeah.
awesome country.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
It's time for bed for me.
Trump, we never accused Trump of being smart.
Hello?
Hello? Are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, I am.
Okay, what do you like about Trump?
Well, why do you think that Trump is a bad person?
I think he's going to ruin our economy.
Well, he did say, in order someone to heal, they do need medicine.
Bonnie, thank you so much for the donation on PayPal. Is this Ari?
Yes, it is. Bro, you're scared to debate me? Honestly, you are scared to debate me.
I got a feeling that
What?
I've talked to much smarter people than you, and
Bro.
it's a waste of time.
No,
to be
it's not.
honest.
It's not. I've did my research, so I think that you're scared to debate me. You are scared.
Okay. I don't know, man. I've got a few people in my box that can actually vote that I could change their minds.
So why do you think that Trump is a bad person? Give me
Because his
5.
economic policy is incoherent, just like that last guest just mentioned. The tariffing things for products we don't even make yet is fucking dumb.
Yeah, but Trump did say in order a country to heal, they do need medicine.
Okay,
That is what he said. But hang on, hang on.
that still doesn't make his tariffs coherent. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but it's only a temporary problem. That is
Okay,
not-
but it's extra long temporary. It makes no sense.
makes no sense.
If he's tariffing things that we can't even make and we haven't even started making, and it'll take 7 to 10 years to even start doing this. So is that what he means by temporary? Like 10, 15 years, 50 years, 60 years? Like none of this makes any sense either. You can't even walk me through the logic of how these things will eventually even be cheaper made here than in China. It doesn't make any sense. Just because Trump mutters the words, it's going to hurt now, but it's going to be better later, doesn't mean it's true.
Okay, so do you even know why tariffs are here in the first place? Is because that Trump wants Canada to be as America. He wants to take over Canada, and that's why he is.
He doesn't. He's not even tariffing Canada. You silly fucking goose.
Bro, I don't like the way that you're speaking to me. That is inappropriate.
Hey, get humbled.
Bro, you should get humbled. You're scared. You're scared. You're scared.
I'm scared. You just swung and missed in the biggest way. Why would I be scared of you?
Because you can't answer my question.
Canada doesn't have any fucking tariffs right now, dude.
Bro, they do. If you search the Daily Mail, it is.
Thank you so much, Jennifer, for the $25. She says, kick Ari. Ari, go ride your bicycle, dude. Get out of my fucking thing. Hello?
Oh, I did not know I was up next. Sorry, I'm sitting here smacking the heck out of the screen. So I just had to come up. The first guy a couple of guys ago, is this your first time gig? And then he kind of chuckles, but then he basically puts on his running shoes. It's things like that it's like, yeah, homie, this guy here who runs a live almost every fucking day, who speaks about this particular fucking subject every day, might know a shitload more than you do, who brushes across headlines and then reads a couple of sentences and then goes, huh, Trump's my king, and then walks back off. Blows my mind that these people would chuckle at that. And then that Ari dude, he literally didn't answer or acknowledge a single answer or question that you provided. You weren't scared of shit. He had nothing. The frustration, like, if I could have one superpower, it would just be to teleport a slap to a voice that I hear. That would just be so great. You have way more patience than I ever could. I'm going to go grocery shopping and keep on listening.
All right,
You
grab
have
an
a good
avocado
day.
for me, baby. Grab an avocado.
Will do, actually.
All right, bub. Take it easy.
Take care.
I would love to teleport a slap. Just Darth Vader. I'm just kidding. Hello?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, are you a Trump supporter?
I'm a CPA MBA that works in fiscal policy. I'm not a Trump supporter. Just want to say keep up the good work, and I too wish I could teleport a slap.
Hey.
Kick me down and play with some smooth brains.
Hey, keep wearing those dad shorts, dude. They're fucking killing it.
Big pimpin'.
All right.
Take it easy.
Fucking W dad shorts. What a guy. Loved it. What a guy. Hello?
Okay, careful that lid. You know, it wouldn't be a bad thing for her to be like, hey guys, I'm gonna go do this. I'll catch you later. I don't always know where Danny goes. You know,
He's got a healthy prostate. It's good to know. It's a healthy prostate, guys. Oh. Yeah, healthy prostate. Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, are you a Trump supporter?
No, but I just want to say keep up the great work. I'm a student studying economics, and I would really like to see you put up some more Marshallian crosses up to mathematically prove why Trump supporters are idiots. Thank you. Keep up the great work.
All right, big kisses. Hello?
Hi. I'm not a Trump supporter, but I just wanted to say the same thing that I run across you all the time, and I try to get in and talk to you, but you're so busy and the things fly up and everything. You don't ever really see anything that I say. But I'm Anne-Marie from Pennsylvania, and I had just one question.
Uh-huh.
I would like to know why, with Trump doing everything that he is doing today and lying and cheating and stealing our stuff, why isn't anybody coming up and getting him out of that office? That is my biggest question of all time. I just don't understand how they're letting him get away with all of this.
I don't know. We got our hands behind our backs. We got to play by the rules. And as far as Congress is majority Republican, we can't impeach.
But why? I mean, we can't get Congress to agree to that? What about the military? He's like dissed the Constitution how many freaking times? I mean, I just don't get it.
I know.
He's a freaking a-hole.
Yeah, I know. I know.
I just don't. We follow the rules, but we have to follow the rules, but he doesn't. That's asinine. But anywho, I would keep up the good work. I was hoping for an answer from you because you're such a smart guy. And if you can't give me anything, I don't know what kind of hope we got out there right now. So, but keep up the good work. I'll
Thank
keep
you.
listening to you.
Thank you.
See you later.
Much love.
Much love to you.
Oh. Peak. Chat, don't forget to like the stream. If you're on YouTube, like the stream, please. Please do it. Just like it. Even if you hate me. Chad, if you're a Trump supporter and want to debate and your name is not Ari or Donald Cooper, hop in the box. Case man. All right. Oops. Can you get in here? You got cut off? How's my new router? Guys, I invited you, Case Man. I don't know why you can't come up. Let me show you something. Look at that beautiful thing right there, guys. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, baby. That's right, looking extra girthy today. It's because of this thing. Because that bad boy right there. I'm loving it. We haven't had any lag today. Right? No lag?
I just don't understand why it's so hard for you to have a conversation and you're just scared.
Ari, you're on 2 different devices.
No, he's not, mate.
Just maybe quiet, but I just don't understand why it's so hard for you to just debate me. And I just don't understand why you're smiling, because I actually find you racist.
I don't know what race you are.
I'm British.
That's for nationality, dude.
I'm white.
I'm white too, man.
Yeah, but it's not funny. It is not funny on how you're on. Bro, I think that you got a bad opinion on British people. That is my point.
You guys are usually smart. Just because of your accent, you sound smarter. But you're not smart, sir.
I am smart. Don't worry. You make me quiet. I've got a GPA of 4, so I wouldn't be laughing, because I think you need to go back to school.
School?
Yeah. Yeah, you're not smart. You think that Trump's temporary problems are...
Jennifer with $25 to kick Ari again. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Go eat beans on toast, bitch. Go eat your beans on toast. In it. Lindsay, thank you so much for the $75. I need a whole ban on it, Ari. Oh my god. I'm going to try, but I don't know. Thank you so much. Got a Cheerio in it. Lindsay, thank you so much for the $75. I'm trying, guys. Where are you, bitch? I'm going to ban you. Get out of here, dude. Ari, get out of here, dude. Biker dad. Dude, what are you, 14? What are you a dad of? What's a British dog? What's a British dog? What, do you have a Scottish Terrier? What are you, a British, like a Scottish Terrier dad? Bro. Hello?
Hello?
Are you a Trump supporter?
Hell no. Hell no, man. Listen, I love your show. My wife and I listen to you all the time, and I know you didn't want friendlies, right? But I just got to tell you that every Trump supporter that comes on this show sounds like a fucking moron. Straight up moron. Unintelligent, has no idea what the hell they're saying. Okay? And I love the fact how you stomp on their shit. I love it.
Love you, baby.
Okay? Huh?
Said I love you, baby.
Love you too, brother. Okay? Yeah, I know you want the Trump supporters so you can smash them, but I just wanted to call and say that, you know? Love your show and keep on what you're doing, man.
Hey, thank you.
All right, brother.
Let's go. Let's go, chat. Let's go. Keep gassing me up. Keep gassing me up. I'm unstoppable. Keep gassing me up, baby.
Hi, love.
Hello.
How's your day today?
It's good. How is yours?
Good.
Are you there with Ari?
Racism.
Oh my fucking god, dude. Son of a bit. How? What? Dog. I can't see how many followers they have. I can't see how many because I'm on a PC, so it's different for me. I don't have the same interface that y'all have. I think the word's feed-eye. Feed-eye? Is it like octopus, where the plural is just I? Fetuses or feed-eye? Ari's not 18 plus. Oh, man. Multiple feed-eye? It's probably fetuses. Feed-eye is fun, though. It's fun to say. I'm gonna start saying it. Listen, we make the words up. We can change it if we collectively all start saying feed-eye. A gaggle of fetuses. The feed-eye is... Octopi is incorrect? No. What's the plural of octopus? Octopuses? No, dude, that just broke my brain. Octopuses is the actual plural of octopus. I swear to God, that's what ChatGPT just said. No way. Chat, what timeline are we living in? No make Crust. Reported, by the way. Oh my God. Someone changed the timeline, dude. Someone called Doctor Strange. Someone called Doctor Strange. I'm not having it. I can't get behind that. Chai got a new router. We got a new router, but no one to talk to. A group of zebras? What is a group of zebras called? Babe. Oh shit. Oh shit. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh fuck. It's a herd. Zeal. Zeal. Zeal is also a way to say group of zebras. It's called a dazzle. That is fucking sick. A group of zebras is called a dazzle. Guys, how many followers does user name number in my box have? He has 2,000 followers.
Hey there.
Hello, are you over 18?
Yep, I'm 19.
It's your birthday.
2005, December.
I just don't understand why you're so scared of me.
Oh
You
my
are so scared.
god! What's that movie where that kid, I think he's like the male kid or the news kid, and he's like jamming up this dude. He's like showing up everywhere to collect his fee. That kid is like, it just follows you around. He shows up out of nowhere to collect his fee. I want my $2. Yes, what is that? Is it Paperboy? It's Better Off Dead. Better Off Dead, 1985. You're scared, bro. Accept it. Ari, get out of here. You're scared.
Hey man, what are you doing?
What's up, bro?
So yeah, it's Better Off Dead. That kid actually made a cameo. Have you ever seen Hot Tub Time Machine?
Yeah.
Yeah, he made a cameo in Hot Tub Time Machine. He was on the slopes with them in Hot Tub Time Machine.
That's
because it's
dope.
John Cusack.
I love that.
Yeah, so he came back.
I love that.
So hey, have you heard that? Have you been paying attention to the news this morning? Okay. So the House passed the SAVE Act. They went ahead and passed that bullshit. It could still be filibustered in the Senate, of course, but we'll see how that works. This is going to affect it's almost 70 million women. It's going to affect their ability to vote.
Oh, that one. Where you have to have the same last name?
Yeah. So if you've changed your last name after marriage, this can affect you. Like you're identification has to match your birth certificate, or there's other ways through, like, you can get a passport with your marriage surname on there. There's different, like, but it's a pain in the ass, and this is gonna affect up to 70 million women. It's a wild violation of voters' rights. Also, they're investigating Trump's little bump in the stock market yesterday.
Who's investigating it?
I don't know. Hold on. Let me look.
Is that where we just got the clip of the hot mic of Mike Johnson saying we might see a reduction in voter turnout? That'd be a dream come true.
I haven't heard that.
Yeah, there's a hot mic moment with John, with Mike Johnson. I forgot who he's talking to, but they're talking about numbers like 12, 18%, and then Mike Johnson goes, yeah, that would be a dream come true.
So it looks like lawyers are just ethics lawyers are raising awareness about this right now. So it's also so new, but they're starting to look in, they're paying attention to what's happening and starting to raise awareness. Hey, what he did yesterday saying buy the dip, or this is a great time to buy, and then signing off DJT.
Yeah.
He was literally telling, because he did that before he put the 90-day hold on the tariffs. So he's telling people, hey, this is insider trading. I mean, but it's outside. He's just putting it on True Social now. It's getting fucking wild, dude. He stood in the Oval Office yesterday and introduced Charles Schwab to people in his cabinet. And he says, hey, this is Charles Schwab. It's not only an institution. It's not a company. This is an actual person. And he points at the guy. And then he starts telling all his friends about how many billions they made in the stock market. It's fucking wild, man. This is getting crazy. He's blatantly manipulating the stock markets.
God, that guy's
Anyway,
old
I
as
just came in
fucking
to fill
dirt.
some time. Yeah, he is old as dirt. I didn't know he was actually a person either. I thought he was
1937.
dead a long time ago.
He was born in
Holy
1937.
shit.
In the middle of the Great Depression.
7 years old.
Jesus. Hello?
Oh, you got somebody.
You're scared. Debate me right now. Do not kick me. Do not kick me, bro.
Jesus Christ, dude. Take a fucking hint, man.
Bro, you're scared. You're scared to debate me. Why do you think?
Do you know what consent is? Do you know what consent is?
Do you know what?
You've been paid to be kicked. Why do you keep
No,
coming
no,
back?
no, I haven't. But
Literally, they've paid money to not listen to you. You're not gonna
you're
last.
scared of me because you're scared of me.
Mm. So, do you remember Weezer?
Yeah, his wife.
Yeah, did you hear about that shit? Yeah. The fucking police pewed her, man. The fucking police. She came after him with a gun herself, and they ended up fucking doing her. They did not unalive her, but she's taken to the hospital. She kind of lost her shit and went after the cops. It's fucking wild. Yeah, we're looking at how many points dropped this morning.
1300.
Yeah. Hold on one second. I'm pulling it up. Yeah, man. This is getting ugly. You don't have stocks though. You're not worried.
I don't know. I'm a scrub.
Yeah, fuck it.
I don't got stocks.
All right, we got two more in the queue, man. Let's see if they're not Ari.
Oh, it's Sebastian.
Hi.
Why are you kissing men on your live streams? Hello?
Hi there.
Hi, are you a Trump supporter?
Yep, I am.
This is the girlfriend.
What girlfriend?
What's up, Pickles? Tic Tac.
What's up, man?
What's up, bub?
You liking this hold my bag stock market we got going on here?
Yeah. Ari, you might want to invest in some of these.
Yeah.
Invest in some of these, Ari.
Tic Tac, you had said, and I unfortunately had a phone call, so I didn't hear, but you said that there is investigation happening now on the people that were investing when the market was
No,
down.
they're not investigating. They're just pointing at it. We have ethics lawyers pointing at it and being like, "Hey guys, pay attention to this kind of thing," and they're drawing attention to it. I misspoke.
Oh, okay. I'm really hoping that we get to a point where it is investigated, because
Hey.
you're gonna see that.
I'll be right back. Y'all keep talking.
No worries. You're gonna see who's really making.
Bro, someone on YouTube just said my bandwidth is a joke. How about you go frick yourself, dude? I fixed it. How about you go frick yourself? Tic Tac, you're welcome to come back. Jesus, with all the fucking... Jeez. I had to restart my TikTok streaming app.
Yeah, I thought I DC'd.
Where you at, Tic Tac? We're good now. We're good now. I had to restart my app, so that's why we lost it. Chat, if you haven't followed me on my YouTube and all that stuff, go ahead and do that. It's
Yeah,
lagging
chat,
constantly for
follow
me,
the
but it's been doing
socials.
that this week, so I don't think it's you. No, it should be good now. I had to close the software and reopen it. It does this thing where if I minimize the streaming software, it won't re-maximize. It won't come back up.
That's weird, yeah. I was saying, I really hope we get to a point where we do investigate what is actually going on and who's profiting and who's losing and stuff like that. Because even when corporations lose, they still make, because they can hide that loss in their profits and reduce their tax liability. You know, it's no different than how Elmo did his little X to XAI switch. You know, hey, I bought this for 44 billion and now I sold it to this company for X amount. So now he can just sit there and take the profit or the loss and cover his liability on his profit.
Keep talking.
I will.
I'll be right back.
Tic Tac, get your butt up here. But yeah, chat, always follow the money. That's the real thing in a capitalistic society. You can see where the money goes, where it lands, who's making, who's not. And this is nothing more than a cash grab from us lower people. Yeah, MTG, exactly. Check out the unusual whales list, see who's involved, you know. And then get these people out, you know. That's the only way we win, is when we can actually get these people out and return the power back to the people. I know. Imagine if Obama and Biden did this. Yeah, exactly. I think the video that Obama did was fantastic. You know, his speech where he was like, he was just saying, like, imagine if I did this. Imagine. Do you hear all the birds? I'm in a meadow. No, it's my. I live in the country. I live in a rural area, so I got like chickens next door. I got roosters in town. You'll hear a bunch of birds around me.
Tic Tac, get that big ol' wiener in here. Where are you?
Seriously though, love me Tic Tac. He does the news so great.
He's like the guy at the barber shop that got all
He
the tea.
is. He is.
He's like, did you hear about this? He's always got the best things.
He's the end all be all of knowledge, you know? It's calming. Yeah, it is. For sure it is. Yeah, I would say like I had a pretty good little thing happen to me the last like few weeks. Is my neighbor's chicken had gotten out of the coop and flew over the fence and went into my yard, started feeding, enjoyed my grass, and then plopped in one of my flower pots and left me like 4 eggs. I was like, this is better than Amazon Fresh. It's just my food came to me. It's like, yeah, exactly. Exactly. I will say too, like, stuff that you can do is be cautious with where your dollar goes. Try to purchase products that aren't made by the big people that own all the companies like the Black Rocks and stuff like that. This is how we hurt them. If they want to hurt us in the pocketbook, we can return that right back because our money velocity is a lot faster. And if we slow that down to a halt and give it to the people, the actual farmers, they can do what they want to do with it. Paying cash, yeah, exactly. Let them hoard the money. Let us hoard the money for once. Could you not? Okay, nice. Yeah, see, that's the kind of stuff we need. It's the info needs to be out there, and I forget the creator's name, but there's a gentleman that's also been on podcasts recently discussing, and he turned more political in his stuff, but his investigations were more about like what brands you were purchasing at Target or aisles and stuff like that. Um, I'm sure there's plenty of people in chat that know the creators by name, but I can't remember offhand. Trickle up economics, exactly. Feed the people that are doing right by you. Farmers markets are good. You can go to farms themselves, typically have stands or retail side of their farm. Not all of them, but I live in an area where I'm surrounded by farms, so I can go buy eggs from an egg farm, and I think the last time I paid was like 15 or 18 bucks for a flat. 96 eggs, I think it equates to.
Look at that new sign. Look at that new sign.
It's beautiful.
Come on. Focus in. There we go.
Hydro gardening, yeah, perfect example. Do the, grow this stuff yourself. Well, it's just people have to realize that in a capitalistic society, you vote with your dollar. So, like, if you're giving the money to the upper echelon, the 1%, the Black Rocks and stuff like that, what do they do with that? They buy you out of your property when the market's down, make you lose a ton, and just increase their profits tenfold. Dry them up.
I just tried you one more time, Case Man. I just tried you. Do you see anything?
holiday vacation kit. Yep. Only buy what you need. Be frugal. Spend the money properly. Do your best. That's all we can. That's all we can really ask for. Unfortunately, in a consumption economy that we have, but you can choose. Choose and choose wisely.
Yo, what's good, man?
What's up? Are you a Trump supporter?
Well, yeah, I am. But I was gonna ask you if y'all was gonna like listen to the song real quick. Like, it's my song type shit. I've been working on it. You feel me? Nah,
You want us to platform your music career?
nah, it's actually good though. Like, I ain't gonna lie, like, it's not bad. I would not play some trash shit. Nah, it's not self promotion. What? Damn, these niggas are wild. They say not for Trump support. Yo, yo, yo. Nah, that's crazy. Nah, so you guys are like, are you guys like racist or what? Like, because the comments is crazy. I know you guys aren't racist, but
It's
someone
democracy. They're voting against you.
this is yo, go ask Trump. Yo, that's crazy. Zero followers, zero following. Nah, I got another account. This is like my other account got like banned. Like, it's not my main account. No, hard no. Damn. Y'all, this is like negativity.
You
God.
voted off the island, man. It's tough. It's tough out here.
Veto this guy. Damn, wait, hold on. Someone said there are plenty of music platforms. Go there. Damn. So I get that. I understand, like, this is a political platform, you feel me? And I'm coming here talking about music. I understand. I'm not even mad at it. Y'all have the right to this opinion. I'm not gonna lie. I understand. My fault. I'll just head out and leave. Yeah, how do I leave?
Go on, get.
That's too funny.
Bro said, let me show you my mixtape.
It reminded me actually just of the video that 50 Cent had where somebody tried to like shove a mixtape at him while he was out. And he backed away from his woman that he was with and stuff and started to like approach the guy. Don't give me that. I don't want none of that.
Wouldn't us playing your music be DEI? Dang, I don't know about that. That might be off. That might be much. Go ask Trump to platform you. Noodle, that's the perfect response. Remember when they had to corner you in a gas station parking lot to sell mixtapes? Yeah, I know. I was in Seattle, and there's like these dudes that like will jam you up and be like, hey, do you want a free sample of my CD? And if you say yes, they hold out like an iPad. They're like, do you want to tip me? And it's like $20, $40, $60. And you're like, nah. I said, no, I can't do that. And they go, well, give me that back. Bro, what?
Yeah, I remember back in the day, it used to be like hustling speakers out of vans and stuff at gas stations. Get this home entertainment system. I'll charge you $150, and you open the box. It's like a box of rocks.
Always up by the stadium, yeah. No, yeah, it was like outside of a venue of a big convention.
I will say I did get a free CD when I went to go see Real Big Fish live in Santa Cruz, and it was from this, I believe they were a Japanese band called Potshot. That's one of the best CDs I've ever gotten for free. It's so good.
Andrew says Pickles be pushing my music tomorrow. That I will, actually. I will. Andrew's got a soundtrack dropping tomorrow for a movie.
RBF, that's right. Actually, back then, like going and watch them live, their shows were just amazing.
Dude, I just got hit with like a wave of tiredness. Play my song, Pickles. What's up, Brett? What's RBF?
Real big fish.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, the ska in the 90s and stuff like that, those good times.
Insider streaming. I love that. I know, Brett. I've heard it. Yeah, that's dope. I've heard it. Resting bitch face. Damn, what?
Remember I told you, Pickles, how I had buddies that were union workers and they were voting against their own interests in 2016, and I was like, how is it possible that you're in the most socialist ideology in the US and then you're turning around and voting against your unions being able to contract your work with these people? It hurts to hear that guy earlier with the unloading job, you know.
Ugh, yeah, I know. I'm a longshore, and then he is like, my job can't be automated.
Yeah, and then you had the article up for like 20 minutes. Like, no, your job can most definitely be automated. And you're going and voting for like people that are legit union busters. Like their whole thing is that they've gone out of their way to make it so like kids will be filling these employments from the the people that were kicking out and stuff like that. And it's just absolutely asinine. Like overnights in Florida, 14, you know. I don't want a 14-year-old to be next to a huge machine. Like your brain isn't fully developed until you're 25, right? So like, I'd rather have people that, understand risks, can do all that stuff. And then on top of that, not having healthcare is huge. Like a universal healthcare system. Like I think that coupled with capitalism would only create more productivity out of the US because we would be less sick of as a society, and stuff would be like preventative or caught on the preventative stage versus waiting until a private insurance company decides, oh, hey, now that it's to the point where it's an emergency, we'll come in and pay. And then hospitals come in, charge these insurance companies through the roof. Your deductible is through the roof. You're paying like $400, $600, $1,200 for this fake access. We are productive, but we can always be more productive. We can always do more. And emboldening the smaller business sector versus giving money to the top that keeps the money and slows the velocity of the money is huge.
All right, guys, I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna take a little nap. I'm fucking tired.
Yay. You're gonna come back on later, Pipino?
Yeah.
Nice. I'll be here for it.
All right, dudes.
Yeah.
Chat.
Join the Discord, follow the socials, donate what you can. Pickles has the patience of a saint dealing with these people.
Yeah. Follow me. Give me a follow if you haven't done so already, guys. I will see y'all in just a second. I hope you guys are having a good day, chat. Muchos gracias. Love you.